Oh, he's life changing. Yes, that's the charger.
Since you're new to H&R Block, we'll go through your tax returns from the past 3 years for any money your last guy might have missed.
I could get money back from the last 3 years?
This one time, I scored a client free.
Now that's a slam dunk.
Switch to H&R Block and get a free second look review.
My name's Morgan Guillory. I'm a single mom with an IQ north of 160. Helping the cops solve a murder is literally the easiest part of my day.
I see you brought your child with you to a crime scene.
Got a dead body. Gotta go.
I'm facing back to front. Over my shoulder at the sun. And it's an open door. And off my line of sight once more. Out of luck, out of luck. It'll all be fine this time. Out of luck, out of luck. 'Cause you always seem so kind. Out of luck, out of luck. It'll all be fine this time. Out of luck, out of luck.
Now Taxes is getting the TurboTax app and filing your taxes yourself 100% free if you didn't file with us last year. Now this is taxes. File free in the app by 2/18 when you switch to TurboTax Do It Yourself.
Unlock more savings in the Kroger app. On top of low prices, shop the weekly ad and clip digital coupons worth over $600 in savings every week. Plus, track fuel points and save up to $1 per gallon. Save big in the app today. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Grammarly doesn't just help you with polishing your emails, it also lessens the mental load of replying to emails. When you start replying to an email, click this button to tag in Grammarly. You get a quick summary of the original email and a few suggested prompts based on what you received. Click on a prompt and Grammarly drafts a relevant reply for you in seconds. Download Grammarly for free and see it for yourself.
Inspired by Olay's #1 serum. Now for your shower. New Super Serum Body Wash from Olay.
Long hair across the room, baby, she got that glow. I know you see me over here, so dance on me real slow. We've been going for about 2 hours, and I don't even know your name. So baby, please reveal. Your friends are calling you, baby, stay with me instead. I know you're saying that you're tired, there's at the door, dancing you left. Even if I go, I still think of you in my bed. Of a good time we had. The scent of your perfume has got me lost in a haze, and all this moment depends on the records that the DJ plays. Baby, move a little bit closer, 'cause I wanna feel you, babe. I wanna feel you, babe. Your friends are calling you, baby, stay with me instead. I know you're saying that you're tired, there's at the door, dancing you left. Even if I go, I still think of you in my bed. Of a good time we had.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
We've locked in low prices to help you save big store-wide. Look for the locked in low prices tags and enjoy extra savings throughout the store. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
washed all the windows, threw away the sheets that we used. All your towels are getting laundered, all our pictures in the desk drawer. But I want you back in the middle of the night. I want you back in the middle of this fight. I never sleep in the middle of the night. I want you back. In the middle of this fight, baby, come back and fight. Baby, come back and fight with me. I don't do the things I used to do, and I don't drink the way I used to. All your advice, I finally took it when you're not around to see me do it. But I But I'm out down the highway with all my regrets. Oh, I've been traveling for miles and miles and miles. I can't see where it ends. Oh, I've been trying to find ways. I don't like your little games, don't like your tilted stage, the role you made me play of the fool. No, I don't like you. I don't like your perfect crime, how you laugh when you lie. You said the gun was mine, isn't cool. No, I don't like you. But I got smarter, I got harder in the nick of time. Honey, I rose up from the dead, I do it all the time. I got a list of names and yours is in red underlined. I check it once, then I check it twice. Oh, look what you made me do. Look what you made me do. Look what you just made me do. Look what you just made me. Ooh, look what you made me do. Look what you made me do. Look what you just made me do. Look what you just made me do. I don't like your kingdom keys. They once belonged to me. You asked me for a place to sleep, locked me out, then threw a feast. The world moves on, another day, another drama, but not for me, not for me. All I think about is karma. And then the world moves on, but one thing's for sure, maybe I got mine, but you'll all get yours. But I got smarter, I got harder in the nick of time. Honey, I rose up from the dead, I do it all the time. I got a list of names and yours is in red underlined. I check it once, then I check it twice. Oh, look what you made me do. Look what you made me do. Look what you just made me do. Look what you just made me do. Look what you made me do. Look what you made me do. Look what you just made me do. Look what you just made me do. I don't trust nobody and nobody trusts me. I'll be the actress starring in your bad dreams. I don't trust nobody and nobody trusts me. I'll be the actress actress starring in your bad dreams. I don't trust nobody and nobody trusts me. I'll be the actress starring in your bad dreams. I don't trust nobody and nobody trusts me. I'll be the actress starring in your bad dreams. I'm sorry, the old Taylor can't come to the phone right now. Why? Oh.
Did you guys watch the Grammys?
Yeah,
Fun stuff. Do what? The Naked Girl.
They weren't even invited. They kicked them off the red carpet. He literally had like a black dog, and he had like a sheer, it looked like a hose. Like a hose, skirt that went, I mean, you can see everything. Like a front and everything. I mean, everything. She didn't even have like a little thong or nothing.
Everything.
I did not see that.
It was bad. They got kicked off.
I didn't watch any of the red carpet stuff, but I watched the performance. Got you. Poor Kanye. We had such hope for him. Let's get our party started. Thank you.
That wasn't on there.
Thanks. All right, let's get going. Happy Tuesday. Those of you on Huddle, what do we talk about on Tuesdays? Pipeline. Who are the next 3 people that if you find them the property they're looking for, or if you go on that listing appointment, you're going to close? We ask ourselves that every Tuesday morning. Glad you're here. It's February too. Guys, that means how many months are left to do business? Depends. 9? 9 months? Brian's not having a baby. Still gonna do it at 9? Do you do it at 9 so you can take the end of the year off? Yeah. Yeah. January's gone, friends. Don't count December. So you've got 9 to 10 months to get everything done that you set out to do for your 2025. So it's a great time. Instead of waiting till like June or July or August to have this conversation with yourself, maybe review where you are in your business. Are you on goal? And if not, what do you need to do to get back on track? It's way better for your world and your business if you do that now and not wait till later. All right, February birthdays. Oh, Bruce has a birthday today. I think his birthday was yesterday.
Yesterday, it is. Today's the 4th.
Today's the 4th. Thank you. Roxanne has a birthday. Happy birthday to these people. Oh, look at Bo. Chad's got one coming up. Rita's got one coming up. Larry's got, everybody's got. Look at that. For a short month. All right, bucket fills. What do we have? Whose buckets do we want to fill? Yes. Tagline.
This last week was a lot.
Yeah, had a lot of support. He's talking about his pods. He's referencing the pods. So PC's doing a little something where they have split into groups and they're calling themselves pods. So he's referencing his community, his pod within PC. Who else? Yes.
This is not about.
Our broker's back, by the way. She was down last week.
This is not about, it's about our unit, but it does lead back to leadership because if
about a year ago, thanks to you, Ms. Tracy, we decided at that time to change our B&O company. And we put them to the test times 10 over the last 2 weeks. And let me tell you, they are crack. They are amazing. They gave us 2 hours of free attorney advice. They jumped in, they helped us get through a nightmare that would have ended up costing God knows how buku bucks. And I just want to say yes to leadership for having the foresight to do that and having this amazing, amazing company behind us because it needs everything at the end of the day. Because at one point, probably half of us in here will have to use them. So I'm thrilled.
Nice. Good to know. We have a good partner in our E&O insurance. Thank you. Who else? One more. Give me another one. You guys, we've got like no energy today. Where is it at? Is it because it's gray out? As February? It's the music
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
And then today.
I know.
I think it's just the like.
Had a tease yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's hard on the system. Hard on the system. Okay, give me one more bucket though. Dig deep. Yes, sir.
So I want to fill the buckets of all of our leadership team. I think every morning we get together and we have time for that time to encourage each other to be able to be out here for the events and have a bigger people that are just there to be there for each other. And sometimes we bring the shed of light into the meeting and they have to come out of that meeting like putting on a happy face and hear everybody. I think everybody in the group feels that pretty well.
Yeah, we did a pretty good job. Good group. Thanks for sharing that. Good job, team.
Good job, team. Thank you for sharing that.
All right, so we've been talking a little bit about the shift. We had one of our team meetings kind of derailed thanks to the snow, but we want to get back into this and focus on the different tactics throughout the shift. So we're going to take you through shift tactic number 4 today. And then we've got a few other things to talk about after this. Everyone should have one of these where you have your Market Center extras, so they'll have additional information. If you don't have one, let me know. We've got some extras up here if you need one. Here's some extras. Thank you. All right, shift tactic number 4. Upshifting your lead generation and finding the motivated. How are you guys doing in your lead generation these days? Good? Better? What do you see shifting? When you say better, is it something you're doing or you're experiencing outside of what you do?
I feel like there's a lot of people asking about the market and what the market's going to do.
More people are having conversations with you? Nice.
And I feel like it's very positive. I feel like it's making an uptick. Open houses with 32 people showing that.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, Jane had it on social media the other day. So, yeah, I just feel like it's positive. And people are asking, but are just trying to say it's positive.
Yeah, positivity is important. Are you having more conversations, easier conversations? Is anything changing this year compared to where you were last year? Any difference? Think this year's gonna be like last year? So we're definitely gonna have to lean into those skills, right? And we're gonna have to ramp up our activities. And we're gonna have to come up with some, not necessarily come up with some creative ways, but maybe go back to the old school ways of having conversations with people. Crazy as that sounds. That's what you're gonna need to do. Okay, so perspective. When we talk about how the market shifts, yes, it's shifting. I don't want to wear it out, but the market shifts all the time. I don't even know why we honestly have to keep pointing it out. The market is always going to be shifting. The market shifts. So it's shifting. There you go. The amount of some things that you might see, the amount of leads have diminished. Your lead generation is your business. This is probably, I would have that at the very tippy top. Your perspective of lead generation being your business. You've heard this said time and time again, your database is your business. Your business is your database. If you are not focused on that database and feeding the database, communicating with your database and feeding it. When I say feeding your database, what's that mean? Add to it. Every single day. When I would report my numbers on my team, we tracked how many conversations we had about real estate. We've tracked how many new conversations, how many follow-up conversations. Tracking this information is going to be ideal for your business as well.
Uh-oh. I've been signed out.
Is that anything I need to fix?
Okay. Fewer leads, fewer showings, and increased days on the market. The minute these signs show up,
take notice. This is why you guys have to be an expert in your market. So you see when this is happening. When the market starts to change, and that's an interesting thing in our area. When we do go through a shift, when the market changes, it's like overnight here. You don't get warning. It doesn't slowly creep up on you.
and so whenever you see that there are fewer leads and fewer showings,
You guys, if you're tracking your numbers and you know that I have to have 40 conversations in order to set an appointment, and then suddenly it's 55, 60 conversations to set an appointment, is that something you pay attention to? Yeah, you track it. So the fewer leads, fewer showings, that's something for you to pay attention to. Okay, this is a good question. What's your current mindset on lead generation? Let's be real, be honest. What's your current mindset on lead generation? When we say we need to lead generate, you have to do it. In your mind, you're like, I have to do it. It's just something I have to do. What else?
Aggressive.
Aggressive? Like you're gonna attack it.
You have to at this time.
Yeah.
You know, anything we were doing last year, we need to double it down here, saying that for a year.
Absolutely.
I think it's also in your conversations, you have to show expectations for buyers or sellers.
What do you mean?
So if it's the only reason right now, and especially in our area or in most of our areas that most of us do, it's price. If the house is priced right, it will sell.
Right.
It won't sit on the market. I listed one on Friday and had 9 showings and 4 offers on Friday, but it was about $6,000 under where it could have been, which I think got it aggressive, and we got it above asking price anyway. And I think your buyers have to know that too. Like if they're looking at houses, now's not the time to try to save $25,000 if you love the house. Let's come in at asking, and we probably win the house.
Yes.
I think it's important on that topic for us to sort of share like what local market experiences we are having.
Right.
So for instance, Indian Hill School District, I personally threw a cash offer out at a house listed at 525. It's the Euler Group. It's the group that Peter Shabri Group, you know, they're 1, 2, 2, 1 all year long. So, you know, they know their shit, pardon my French. But it, you know, so this house is listed at 525. And at the end of the day, just because Scott gave me the scoop, there were 15 offers. Okay. And a lot of them did escalation clauses. And I thought escalation clauses were kind of asleep. But just like Kristen said, overnight, because Julie back, she doesn't even allow escalation clauses, which I don't even know if you can do that, but if you can talk yourself into not doing it, you can. So at the end of the day, they did not accept the cash offer, which in my gut, I knew they didn't accept the cash offer, which is the only reason I reached out to Scott Wheeler to say, my gut's telling me they went with with a low. So, if you want to, anyway, they went with a physician's mortgage. So those of you that don't know about those, I actually learned about it about 3 or 4 years ago. But you have to be a doctor, and you're a doctor, and you have to get it through a bank. And a bank is now in physician mortgages, they're adding gap clause. They're adding gap coverage in a physician mortgage for up to like $25,000. So something to be aware of. Because it's hard to beat. You put that out there with an escalate, and people have this perception, oh, a doctor's buying the house, that the financing's not going to fall through. Now we all know that's a bunch of BS.
Right.
But you know, a seller's perception is as such. Person that lived in the house died, you know, the siblings or the kids are in a different country, whatnot. But anyway, that's what we're up against in Sycamore schools. That's what we're still up against in Sims and Indian Hill schools, the market. So at the end of the day, they accepted an offer just shy of 590 with the so the escalation didn't really go into play, even though they had one. But they had 4 offers in addition to that over 6. We're talking 525 list offers at 6 and above, and so I just wanted to share that.
Did you have a buyer, a cash buyer?
I was actually.
She was the cash buyer.
I mean, which is why I was very, you know,
Yeah.
which is why I was reaching out to Scott. I probably would have reached out to him anyway, but anyway, crazy, you know. I mean, I didn't have that much cash to throw at it, but I honestly didn't think. I didn't
happens
even think.
overnight.
That's why I'm saying it, because even I, with my expertise, blew me out of the water. I guessed 565, 570, not 6.
Well, that's another interesting thing about a shifting market. When we talk about a shifting market, it doesn't mean every neighborhood is shifting in the same direction.
That's
as
what
the
I
rest of
wanted,
the
that's the
market.
point that I'm
That's what I'm
trying to
saying.
bring up, is
Yeah.
that, but the good school districts in this area, the market's way different than some of the other markets that a lot of us are working.
I lost on one last week that was pretty high.
Holy cow.
$7 million.
Yeah. And people are throwing cash. Ryan and I were talking, people are throwing 2.2 cash at places.
Wow. So what we've been saying, clearly know your market, right? So you've got to know the market. You've got to know each one of the, yeah, go ahead.
So narrow in on what market.
Now.
Something like that, but you can say you can have a whole lot of cash, but if they know that you're gonna come in for more than that cash, then you go buy it cash, and you keep cash. And you might have $50,000 worth. He has a finance over there, and then you have, he can take the money.
Yeah.
Less.
Who is it?
Less.
Dorina has this person?
Yeah.
Less.
They can remove your, if you have like you need to sell your house too, they can get that. By offer. It's a full plan, pretty cool beforehand, so
Yeah.
you're writing everything up front.
Nice.
And even the cash offer.
Yeah.
Does Jennifer have that too?
Talk to them because you still have to get.
This is a good opportunity for you to have conversations with your go-to lenders.
Oh, cash to keys, all right.
So having conversations with our go-to lenders,
Yeah. 'Cause
seeing what they're seeing. What programs do they have that they can help us with? Coming to these market center meetings and having these kind of conversations, so you're picking up on information, so that when you go back and you talk to your buyers and sellers, you've got some intel, right? Studying the market in your areas. All of that's fantastic. And if you spend 6 to 8 hours of your day doing that, you have just become a very educated human, and you're not selling property.
It's the only way you're gonna win.
But my point is that education's crazy important.
Yeah.
This,
Yeah.
I don't care how educated you get and how many lenders you have in your back pocket, it's not gonna do you any good if you're not lead generating, period. So you've got to get that mindset shift if you need it. Some of us are attacking it and we don't need the shift in our minds. But if you're not approaching lead generation as I'm gonna kick some ass, make it a competition. Find that competitive part of you and compete against yourself. Compete against another human. Yes.
One thing I always take away from our calls is growth cures everything.
Everything.
And that means across the board. So growth and lead generation will cure any issues you have.
It'll fix whatever ails you.
Everything. So anything you can do to double down on that or triple down or whatever you have to do, when the numbers start to come in, you don't really have to worry about it.
Right.
So they've identified three kind of perspectives, three type of people who approach lead generation, or their jobs. The prisoner, the vacationer, and the explorer. How many prisoners do we have in the house today? Oh, good. I was hoping no one would raise their hand. You guys know who they are. They don't engage. They're in class and they're spending time on their phone, on their laptop. They're responding to emails. They're not listening to what's going on. They hold on to limiting beliefs. They multitask on their computer by working on side projects. Anybody guilty of this one? Hey, I know I have plenty. Yeah. My friend, you are a prisoner if you're trying to do that. If you think multitasking is something that someone says to you and it's a compliment, it ain't. Do not be a multitasker. One task at a time.
The one thing.
The one thing. The vacationer. A day in training is better than a day on the job. Spends just as much time chatting as listening. They return late from lunch or breaks. They're not purposeful in their learning goals. They're not paying attention. And yeah, they have fun. We know those people. Somebody's a vacationer, surely. I'm not. We don't have a lot of vacationers around here, I don't think. I think we could fall into the prisoner category for some of us. Yeah, maybe. We're all going to do a little bit at some point. And then the explorer. The explorer adopts a posture of acceptance. They take notes. They respect the different learning styles and opinions of others. Ooh. They ask meaningful questions and they contribute. Contribute. Please be an explorer. How to master lead generation. Study. We just talked about that. Practice. This is script practice and role playing. It's not going to get any different from that. We're always going to say script practice and role play. There are some fun ways to practice though, guys. You don't have to have it boring all the time. Go do your listing presentation in front of your mom. Have your cousin sit down and do a buyer consult. It helps you feel really comfortable to practice in front of people that you know, not your clients. Do not practice in front of your clients. And the other thing is, the reality is, if you practice your listing presentation and your buyer presentation in front of your friends and family, you'll find business. And time on task. It's just like anything else. Anyone who is successful at any career has time on task. They have spent time learning the market. They have spent time learning their craft, their negotiation skills, how to say what they need to say, when to say it. Yeah.
I follow Kara Carter from, I think she's Miami, Florida agent. I met her at Glover last year. She does like, I don't know, 22 million from down there yearly, maybe more than that. She said that if she doesn't get an appointment, she'll go and view 5 or 6 houses that she wants to sell. And I think that's a lot. That makes you an expert, right? Like if you're having a conversation and you're like, oh, I looked at 7 new houses that came in Mason, and you're actually having a conversation with somebody about Mason, you can say, yeah, I went toward that house, it was beautiful or whatever. And it just makes you seem like you know what you're doing, as opposed to just using the MLS and saying, oh yeah, here, that house is available.
I used to do that. And when I was down in Louisville, I think it's a fantastic idea. You guys should be checking out properties in your area. If you are finished with your lead generation, you don't have an appointment set, you could spend some time looking at houses just so you know the market. And that is, I will tell you, a buyer is so darn impressed, even a seller, when you're able to drop the intel, the info that you have on a property all day long. Study for 30 to 60 minutes each day. Study the industry in your local market. This should be on your calendar. Do not do it until after your lead generation. Check out the new developments in the community. Homes on the market, selling and negotiating. If I say I don't know or I haven't heard of that to a prospective buyer, do you think they're going to hire me? If they say, hey, I know that there's a new development that's going on down in Mason across from the, I don't know what's in Mason, sorry, the Baptist church, and you say, oh, I didn't know anything about that. Are you getting business? You got to be in the know. Practice practice, we went over this, 30 to 60 minutes each day, study the practice scripts and dialogues. Helps you build confidence, excitement, and you also have a desire to have more conversations. The more you practice, the more you want to talk about it. Listen to others. Time block for practice, we just talked about that. Record yourself and critique. Anybody do this? Anybody practice and record and then play back? Yeah, not a bad idea. I've never done that. You do? Do you record it? Well, there you go. Perhaps you should record it, Brian. Oh, that's cool. That is a very disciplined individual. That's impressive. Time on task. It says you should be lead generating for 3 hours. How many of us are lead generating Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for 3 hours in your business? I'm not. I got 2 hours on. Lead generation is your full-time job. It is your full-time job. Nothing else. It does sound part-time. So no, lead generation is your full-time job. Having conversations for 3 hours is going to lead to a full-time job. It is your full-time job to lead generate. If you do not have appointments set in the afternoon, your lead generation should be for 8 hours. You should have a full day set. Lead generation in the morning, appointments in the afternoon. No appointments, go back into your lead generation. If you erase, you must replace. No interruptions. Do you guys know how to build a bunker? You heard that term, build a bunker? You build a bunker around yourself. You make sure you've got your water bottle, your snacks, right? Your door locked. Whatever you need to do to protect your time, you get it done. Protect your bunker. Especially if you're working from home. That is so tough, you guys. Those of us who have to work from home, it's a tough one. That's when you get the family involved, by the way. Give mommy an hour. Time on task, set goals. We talk about setting goals every single day. It does you no good to say, I'm going to lead generate and not understand what your goal is for the day. You can say, I want to lead generate, but if you don't know that your intention is to set 3 appointments, how are you going to know that you've done a good job? You've got to set a goal. Find them motivated. We've heard people reference this before. When we talk about find them motivated, what does that mean to you? Ready, willing, and able.
Well, and in the now, not 6 months from now or when the market does X.
Yeah. In the now, there's a lot of people waiting for the market to do something before they make a decision that it's never going to do. That mindset does make a difference. And then the ready, willing, and able piece. I mean, it's really that willing piece. There are plenty of people out there that are ready and able. Yeah, right? So you've got to make sure they're ready, they are willing, and they are able. And that's a question you can ask. So your message must match your market. We've talked about this at length. Knowing who your buyer is, who your seller is, who's your client, understand your market. It helps to know this because you're going to have a target audience. And when you have that target audience, you're going to be able to alter your message, create the message according to that market. Your message must also make an offer. What's that mean? We're having conversations with people. We know who our target audience is. We know what our market conditions are, and then we're going to make an offer. What does that mean to you? Call to action. Call to action. Asking for the business. You have a direct offer and you have an indirect offer, and your goal is to get a response. What sources of leads will you explore? Which sources of leads have worked best for you? This is what I kind of wanted to get into, just have a conversation a little bit. What are you guys doing? Like, what are there different lead sources that you're exploring, and what have been your experiences? Yes, social media. And it's working well. Right. Yeah. Nice.
Somebody's birthday yesterday. It's not out of the blue. Usually something else.
Do you find it's easier? I feel like with social media, you get a lot more responses because people are behind. It's like the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
They're behind the
Don't look behind the curtain.
And they're gonna get back, but I don't know how legitimate, do you have experience with how many of the social media per se actually end up buying something or selling something?
So,
I mean, it's good to stay engaged and keep it moving. But, yeah.
I did my Bengals giveaway.
Right.
I did it all year long. It started picking up for then is that I ended up going and giving them about 2 weekends ago the gift.
Nice.
And I played softball. Actually, Garrett spun for my team, which the company's great. I'm sure we'll talk in a minute. But I played softball with the boyfriend, dropped it off to the girlfriend, and he reached out to me and said, "Hey, we're looking up buy a home."
Perfect.
So the winners actually are.
That's awesome.
So, social media works.
Softball. Oh, that's your dynamic.
Softball, I go to the gyms.
Do you?
So you just position yourself all these different ways.
I love
to help.
videos.
So, yeah, that's what it is. You do a really good job.
So social media. Tracy, you were gonna say something that you've tried differently or recently?
I'm gonna dive into expireds and
Nice.
And FSBOs because there's a lot in this area. And it's just, they're already willing,
They've already raised their
they're
hand.
ready and able. So it's a hard phone call, so I'm training with Glover U again to tighten up my skills and to get more confident.
Who else? Somebody else had an arm up. Yeah, Brian.
So it doesn't have to be big time giveaways. Darren reached out to me a couple Fridays ago and he had some tickets to the Home Expo in Sharonville. And so I couldn't use them, so I quickly just put a giveaway. Whoever comments me is gonna go in the randomizer. I had one person comment, which you would think that sucks, right? I ended up by Tuesday, I had 4 transactions from that person I gave tickets.
It doesn't have to be big, it doesn't have to be massive, it only takes one person to buy a house. That's true. It only takes one person.
Commenting after the things, so like, it's not having the engagement and then eventually the right people engage and you have to ask them for this.
You have to ask for the business.
I have been doing since August, video birthdays. So if I see your birthday pop up on Facebook and I have your cell phone number, I do it with agents and friends and relatives or whatever. I send a happy birthday video and it's wherever I'm at.
Yeah.
Minus like clothes, but I'll be in a sweatshirt, like I'm not like, you know what I mean? It's
Not
like
sour
this-
singing.
Right, exactly. It's not like, but, and everybody replies back.
Yeah.
So even if it's, I think it's just a better touch than just like doing it on Facebook and just saying happy birthday with 7,000 other people that are saying it.
It's lost there.
Exactly. So that part is work and with I wouldn't say that social media post as much as I used to was, but the gym still does pretty good.
I was gonna say, because I was talking to someone at Costco, ISGX, ISGX, one of the months ago, and he just sent me quality stuff, like this is like potatoes. And I asked, and I was like, is that all he does? He said, yeah, he's like, he talks to me once a year. And so then I put that, so I told him about my son, all that. And so she's like, oh, really? Like, she said, you seem like you do a lot more than just say happy
It's everything
We need to just kind of set a YouTube video, so it's better than just saying.
on, with everybody, yeah.
Cool stuff and just saying.
Yeah, I mean, you have to engage. with this.
Right.
Yeah, she just does it immediately. Like,
Social
like,
media,
he just-
Instagram, and that are the easiest way to stay in front of all your people and only have to do certain things. Like everybody follows Kurt. Like I love his videos. I like them. I comment on them. Whatever. But his friends and his clients and his stuff it's there as educational. You can't just do a happy birthday and then next year the only other text message that we
Right,
had
a
is
year
that person,
later is a happy birthday. That's
Then, yeah,
not a
then
good
it's not gonna
sign.
be- then it's not gonna be
Not a
that
good
way,
sign.
But it is a touch.
Well, one thing I want you guys to think about when we're asking about the sources of leads that have worked for you, and if we're meeting one-on-one, we've had these conversations before, but really think about what it is that you like to do. What do you enjoy doing? What are you normally doing? What does your everyday look like, or every weekend look like? And then how can you use the things that you do on the regular with your business? If you're already doing it, why not incorporate your business in that? So that's something to think about, is those places that you go. If you're watching soccer 5 days a week because your kid's on the soccer team, no doubt, pay attention to the kid playing, I get it, but you've got a whole group of adults sitting there that probably live in houses. Why not have conversations with them? Yes.
I just wanted to say, I do my lead. I'm gonna start doing it like maybe the right way. But the way I have always done it, and which produces a lot of leads for me, is so for example, when I very first got into real estate, I would go to all the businesses, and so one place was like a little strip mall, and I went in there and said, hey, I just want to let you know I sold a house down the street, and if you have any like little swag or anything you want to put in the gift basket, then it can bring business this way because they don't even know that you're located back here. So I had like a gift basket with all this free stuff from all these businesses, and then keep in touch with those business owners because nobody ever comes in and asks for free swag and puts it in a gift basket. So I did that with the Party Source years ago, and what he wound up doing, management there, is made me a gift basket, put a $25 gift card in, and then charged me $25. And so we did that for several transactions, and throughout the years we've kept in touch. And so I had a meeting with him yesterday, and now he just called me, remembered I was a realtor, because we've kept in touch. And we started investing in some properties, and then he's got a property he wants to list, and a friend of his has a property. So it all turned into that, but that's been several years, but it's just kind of like being out there and connected.
So something as big as Party City.
Party Source, yeah.
Party Source, you
Mhm.
approach them.
Mhm.
And now we're talking business to business, right? So that's another thing you could incorporate, the business to business relationships.
Yeah.
I will tell you the one, and you've done a good job with that. One thing that I see agents keep doing with the business to business is you walk in that little mom and pop shop and say, I'm gonna do all these fantastic things, and about 3 months later, they don't even see you anymore. You don't keep it going.
I think that's what lead generation and shit.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So you've gotta, if you're going to incorporate, if you're gonna do business to business, that is a long-term relationship. So you work with them for a few years before you actually get the business. Yeah, that's
But I've
impressive.
also done that with Marco's Pizza. Because,
Of course you have.
All right, you guys are gonna think I'm crazy. So when I first got into real estate, I'm thinking, everyone's a realtor. Like everyone I know, everybody knows realtors. I'm like, how am I gonna kind of stand out? So on the back of my business card, I went to Marco's Pizza and I was like, is there any way if we could do like a little punch card or something on the back of my business card? So every time I hand my business card out at the Ludlow Bromley Yacht Club, I could be like, hey, guess what? Marco's Pizza is gonna deliver, here you go. Punch card. Flip it over. I'm also a realtor. So I did that and then made those relationships with Marco's Pizza, which we're still in relationship.
I love that. Business to business is amazing.
And let me tell you what Susan Huff said. Can I say that?
You just did.
She was like, oh, that's pretty cute, but I wouldn't want my name on the back of a pizza card or something. And I was like,
Whatever, I'll put my name anywhere.
Yeah.
Some of you work closely with schools. Joe has experience with that. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Whoops. Okay, point is, lead generate, practice, right? Know the market, practice, know the market, educate yourself, and then actually do it. Get your mindset right, attack it, have a competition with yourself or someone else that you know. But you've got to, this is the time, guys, the foot should be on the gas right now, on the gas. I promise you, if you go in hard right now, November, December, you guys are going to be all sitting here with smiles on your faces. I promise, I promise, I promise. All right, enough about that. We've been talking also about how we are content creators. Who in here is a content creator? Any of you that are on social media, I would consider yourselves content creators. We're gonna kind of talk about what that means and what opportunity you have as a content creator. We all own businesses, right? We are business owners. What our business represents and what it stands for is up to us. But I will tell you, as a business owner, it might serve in your best interest to just share content. Share the content. Tell people who you are, what you stand for. Tell them about your work. Tell them about your families. Tell them whatever you want to tell them. Share content that is educational, that is valuable, that is helpful, that is positive, right? I think that's what we all want to do, huh?
Share value-added content, not
Value.
stuff.
Value.
Not what you've done, your accolades.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. They don't care. But as a content creator, you have the opportunity to focus on creating high quality content with a clear purpose, setting boundaries with your online time. I'm watching you guys. Some of you all get on there and you like death scroll and you spend too much damn time. If y'all, the amount of time y'all comment on Facebook, on social media, if you guys are lead generating, high quality content with a clear purpose, setting boundaries with your online time, prioritizing real world experiences. People want to know what you've experienced. They want to understand what you've experienced, not what you think about somebody else experiencing. What have you experienced? They want to know about you. We're talking about building relationships. People want to know what your experiences are. Prioritizing real world experiences and inspiration, and using social media primarily as a distribution tool rather than a validation source. By the way, this is straight from AI when asked what a content creator is. That last bit is what gets me. What's that say to you?
Don't look for your validation when you are on social media.
No, don't. Most of that stuff's not even accurate. People are not taking the time to make sure the stuff that they're posting is accurate. When I say people, I mean like the general population. Right? It's not always accurate. So we don't even want to use that information when we're talking to our clients. You might look silly. Use it primarily as a distribution tool rather, yes.
I was gonna comment on that statement. I used to do that when I would post. No one would like a certain post, and I'd be like, "Oh, maybe I'll take it down." But now I'm learning to keep it up. It's okay.
They're getting to know you.
You know what mindset I have when it comes to that? You put whatever you want to put out and don't pay attention to what comes back.
Yeah.
You're creating because I'm creating content and I don't engage in it.
Drop it.
I do not go back and look at because that's the time waste in a sense.
That is the time waste.
And you know what I mean? And when you go in there, don't look at everyone else's stuff. Go in there, get your stuff done, and then you gotta get out, or you, like Kristen said, you'll just be going through it. I literally have zero time for Facebook. I barely get stuff out. I'm like, I don't know how these people have this kind of, if you're being present in the present moment with family, friends, your colleagues, your clients, and your life, I think the busiest people are the ones who aren't out there, honestly. I don't know, that's my take.
Yes.
It sounds like most of these folks' problems can be solved by joining the group. Maybe we meet Wednesday.
Love this segue, yes. I just want to go back to old and say, don't compare yourself outside to everyone else.
Yeah, I say that.
Absolutely.
Did I say
that
right? Don't compare your outside.
Because social media can shut
Don't
compare
yeah.
your inside
Yeah.
to other people's
Outside.
outside.
Oh, that's a good one. I haven't heard it said that.
That's
before.
such a
I
good
love
one.
that.
You have no idea what's going on behind that screen.
And another group that you can join is the tech committee. We actually read there, and there's a book that, how to, it's, what is it, 1 million followers in 30 days or something.
I need a tech committee.
And one of the things they teach in the book is that you actually should pay attention to what people want, what your followers want. They even teach how you can have more by, like somebody that's got a lot, and y'all share together, like share each other's stuff, how that can be. Oh, interesting. But it says, what's this we're talking about looking at what people like, the things that they like, they say more and stress out more. So like post something and nobody really hits the like button, but you post something else and you get like 30 likes. That right there is the indication span.
But if you do what that screen says, everybody mostly likes it.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's how you keep it simple.
Fair enough. Here's another thing too, and I like relating like real world stuff that's going on, and I like sharing some of my personal stuff with you guys. And I've as a business owner, I have agents that are on my team, right? So as independent contractors, you guys can spend as much time on social media as you want. You can say whatever the heck you want. Now, when you're doing that, I would suggest that you ask yourself, is this the best move for my business? Whatever that is this the best move for my business? So we as team owners, and anybody who has a team, you have to look at your agents the same way. You have a brand they represent. You need to pay attention to what your agents are doing on your team. Do they represent your brand? Are they promoting and supporting your business? Yes.
I just want to say that someone reached out to me to collaborate at a cleaning business for like move outs, whatever. But this person's social media was very unappealing in so many ways. And I was like, I'm sorry, I can't. Like, I just, I don't want my reputation to, come back based on what you're posting and what you're sharing out there.
Wow.
So, sorry.
That's a beautiful example. So a business owner missed out on an opportunity to business with you because they were not using social media primarily as a distribution tool rather than a validation source.
So it was her private account, but that's still just how she contacted me.
You wanna check that stuff.
Right, we can check it. And it was, I mean, not only that, but when I very politely said I can't work with you, she just berated me and I said, okay.
She just showed up the way you expected her to.
Like,
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, I don't want to stay on the soapbox for too long, but the reality is people are watching, they're paying attention to what you're posting. I would just ask you for your mental health and the well-being of this beautiful world we live in. Just don't go down the rabbit hole. Don't spend a lot of time there. It's not the most positive place on earth. Drop your stuff and go. Go take a walk with your dog, right? Do something. But other than that, so there we go. That's it. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
All right. We have a team fair coming up. I'm so excited. This is next week after the Market Center meeting. You guys will have the opportunity to meet the teams that are here in this Market Center, learn a little bit about those team owners and what those teams offer their agents. Your leadership team will also be there. So if you have any interest in learning about leadership within the Keller Williams ecosystem, we will also have our little booth. So please join us. Family reunion is coming up. If you have not registered, please do so. You've got a QR code. Don't forget that if you invite a guest and they agree to go and they hit a metric of selling about 2.65 million a year and up, if you invite them to Keller Williams, I have a free ticket. Or if you invite them to family reunion, I have a free ticket for them. I also can pay for their room. And I could pay for half of your ticket. You do that twice, I will pay for all of your tickets. So there's real opportunity here for anybody who wants to get to family reunion. Go find a producing agent that's willing to go. It's gonna be fun. Hey, Daniel, where you at? There you are. You're up. Do you have slides? Oh, yeah, she's getting it. Well, then I'm getting the heck out of it. He's always got the slides.
So I brought Derek with me as well. Derek is business development with Next Door Photos. But today we are here to tell you all about an exciting partnership we have with Next Door. We have prizes, so stick around for those. Yeah, because I like prizes. Right. Speaking of videos and content, I'm going to record this like we talked about, so I can evaluate myself later.
No pressing.
Do I need the mic or anything? Okay. I'll talk about it. All right, so today we are going to talk about how to win more listings, attract more buyers, and sell your listings faster. Really, the idea is we want to help you grow your business. So I guess I should hit record on here. All right. Oh, I don't have an SD card. I'm prepared. All right. We'll skip that. So anyways, we are just a quick intro from Peter, a quick message. I guess I'm gonna click it. He wanted to share something with you and he couldn't be here because he's doing his own team meeting right now. Hopefully.
Hey, Seven Hills family, it's Peter here with the Chabris Group, and I just want you to know the Chabris Group has decided to use Next Door Photos and Dan exclusively in all of our listing, photography, and marketing in 2025 and hopefully beyond. The reason we made the switch, and we did make the switch late last year in anticipation of 2025, there's three of them actually. The first one is we love the simplicity of Dan's technology, the software, and the accessibility of ordering and coordinating things through his website. The second one is the reliability and deliverability of his product. Not only is it a good product, but the timing is reliable. And the third one, well actually there's four. The third one is of course the discount that we're getting by aggregating all of us together through Keller Williams Seven Hills. Thank you, Dan, for the discount. And then the last one is I just like Dan. He's a trustable guy. He puts agents first in their businesses. He contributes to our community through his work with real producers. And I think that means something more than just being another vendor in our business. He's looking to make the business better for all the realtor community. And that's the kind of a business partner that I want marketing my listings.
So yeah, just want to share that message from Peter with y'all. Kind of coincides. Yeah, we're super excited to be working with the Chabris Group. It's an honor for us. But that kind of comes in with the partnership that I'm going to be sharing with you all. He references discount, so we have an awesome bundle. We're going to get to that here in a minute. So there we go. So Next Door Photos, you probably know already, but we are kind of like a full service media provider for your listings. So you can do your photos, your floor plans, 3D tours, videos, all these different kinds of things that you might want to use to market your listings. And the nice part about that is you don't have to call in different people to do all those different things. We can do everything all in one appointment. So it's more convenient for you, but it's also more convenient for your seller as well. All right. Clicker stuff. There we go. Okay. So quick question for you. And so I have prizes here. This isn't necessary. We're going to get to those in a minute, but I love interaction. So just by show of hands, and maybe we can talk about a little bit of why, but do you think that you're standing out in the way that you're marketing your listings currently? Just thinking about what's out there. And you can brag on yourself. Like if you think you're doing awesome, I want to hear about it. And let's talk about what's working. And then if you're not, what do you think it's going to take to stand out?
I do, because I do use your company, and I've used your company for a few years, and it's just outstanding. And as Peter said, I just like Dan as a person. He's awesome. He's a Christian. He's a good guy. But the last house I just listed in Kentucky, it was an older home, and we had remodeled the inside. But I asked for the photographer to come out at 8:30 in the morning. So know when the sun comes up and how it's going to hit your listing. A lot of people don't pay any attention to that. And the pictures, I mean, were like outstanding. I mean, the way that the sun filtered through the windows of the house on the inside. But the photographers are just exceptional. And I think they really love what they did. And it was the best photos I had ever seen. Anyway, that's
Well,
my,
thank you for that.
that's my tip. It was just outstanding.
Well, to cap that, for real, they take more of an artistic approach
They
sometimes if
do.
you want them
Thank
to,
you.
and
That's
they're
what I
not just
wanted to
there to
say.
take pictures, like they really look at
It's
like
an artistic
angles
approach,
and
yes.
what's the best shot, like, and the turnaround time is unreal.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
It's like 2000.
And quality.
Well, good. Well, let's talk about some ways that you can stand out. Again, because really what we want to help you do at Next Door Photos, our mission is to help you grow your business. We want to help you win more listings. We want to help you attract more buyers. And at the end of the day, sell faster. And there's so many, obviously we talked about pricing, right? If it's priced right, it's going to sell quick. But there are other things that you can do, that other tools that you have in your tool belt to help as well. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. So here is where the prizes come into play. So you can just shout them out here, but what type of media, what do you use to market your listing that is going to help it get 19% more views?
Floor plan.
Good guesses, good guesses. It's not it, it's not it. Any more guesses?
It's video.
Yep. Quality photos, drone, social media, no. No, these are all great guesses.
It's something
It's something else. Landing pages are good, no. Yes, Twilight. Yes, that's it. You can come pick a prize. Yep.
I
So, yeah.
have used that feature with you all.
Great, yeah. So we include that. So you get a sunset sort of picture. The twilight image is what we call it. And that sunset sky, it attracts the eyeballs, right?
You
gotta read, you gotta read what's on the front of it first.
What does it say? Smells like the best realtor in this bitch. Infused with the fresh aroma of being a badass realtor. I want this, but I can see
How do people that are viewing it know that that photo exists?
Is this good with us?
Yeah.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
I didn't know you had virtual staging.
Because I had one, but
Yeah, Twilight.
it's how do they actually know without, if you don't make it your first photo, how do they know?
Well, that's the key, is making it first.
Okay, so I was just gonna say, because people need to know that, so you have to
Right.
make it the first photo.
Yep. So if
Okay.
it's that main photo, it's,
All right.
yeah, it's included. Yep, so,
Because I made it my second photo, I'm just saying, I didn't know.
yep, that's
And I
right.
usually make it my last.
See?
First one.
Yeah.
First, because that's what pops up on Zillow and all that.
Everything, yeah.
Your first photo.
Yeah, I always use the twilight at the end,
Yep, well, there you go.
like shutting down the day.
I mean, I get that, that makes sense.
Yeah, but I'm gonna change that.
Yep.
We're both wrong.
All right, so 19% more views with the Twilight. All right, what kind of media is going to appeal to 55% of buyers?
Video.
Virtual tour, no, I don't think I've heard it yet. Floor plan. Who said it? You picked? Who said it? Yeah, come pick a prize. So what's that? You want a prize?
Okay,
And we got jokes if you're,
The phone's up there too. You can take the phones. He's videoing you. So you have it.
there you go. So 55% of buyers find floor plans helpful. And I think that makes sense, right? We all want to see the layout of the home. Photos tell a great story, but they can't usually convey the whole story. Seeing that floor plan is really going to go a long way to helping that. All right, so what kind of media is going to help your listing sell 68% faster? Nope. Drone. Who said it? Yep. Just keep saying drone on every guess, right? It's going to be in there somewhere. 68% faster. Yep. You want to pick a
No,
price?
okay,
But is that on every listing?
Like,
And is there, yeah, what's
This-
the reason behind that? Because you get the angle of the neighborhood?
I don't know, honestly, the reasoning behind it. I think people are, it's kind of like the Twilight, right? It attracts your eye and it's helpful to see. You want to see context, what's around the listing. Even if it's a house that doesn't have acreage, it doesn't have a really nice lot or whatever, if it has a school nearby or Kings Island is in the background, like you want to know what's around.
Right.
And
Okay,
those
so
things
the
are helpful.
neighbor doesn't have a backyard full of stuff.
That too.
Drone of a home, and I wanted to see if they had a driveway. It's like, okay, where is the driveway?
Right.
Because it didn't show it.
Are you talking about the ones that actually don't just do like the few houses around it, but they do the city and they like, what's?
It just
Because
in
there's all
general-
different kinds.
Right, yeah, I think this study didn't necessarily
It
look
didn't
at
distinguish
what,
between
right,
the
it
different
said that
types.
based on what we see, you
Interesting.
know, if you have drone photos, it's gonna sell faster, so
Okay. Fair enough.
that too. There's a lot of benefits too. So, oh yeah, so I should have.
I had on like 5.
Virtual tour.
All right, 73% of sellers, 73% of sellers are more likely to list with an agent who uses this kind of media. Think about what sellers like.
Social media.
Yeah, the
What do
seller.
you mean by social media?
Listing video.
Video, there it is.
There it is.
All right, here you go. Here's your
iPhone up here
running
too.
foundation cardio. All right, yep. So sellers love to work with agents who are going to use video because I think they see that as you are marketing their listing with excellence. They want to feel like you're going to take it seriously and that you're going to do everything you can to sell their house. So what are we going to do with all this information? So just a little bit more information about floor plans. Again, we kind of talked about it, but I think the real reason that it appeals to so many buyers is because they want to be able to envision themselves in the home. They want to understand the layout. Where are we going to put our furniture? We've got these things. Where are they going to go in the new house? Where's our Christmas tree going to go? It really helps them understand how they're going to live their life in that home.
Well, and you also can't tell by photos how the house flows at all.
Right.
Like you can't tell what room is next to what. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Yeah. I mean, we tried our best to do that with
Especially when
photos, but the
they're
floor plan
out-
takes it to another level.
Exactly. So
So
I
I-
think it's like how it flows.
Oh, 100%. I forgot to update this. I did this presentation for Tara's office down in Lexington. So we have the Lexington average days on market of 45.
Okay.
It's probably somewhere in that
31.
ballpark, 31, so it's a little faster. So then probably about a third of that, we'd probably be looking at 10 or 11 days on market when you're using aerials as compared to listings that do not use aerials. And then going on listing appointments. If you go on 42 listing appointments in a year, first of all, who wants to go on 42 listing appointments this year, right? Sounds amazing. You are more likely to win 31 of those if you're offering to use video as compared to an agent who's not. So if you're an agent who's not offering to do video on your listings, statistically speaking, you're only likely to win 11 of those versus 31 if you're offered to do video.
Can I ask a question about the video? Like, are you talking video of just the home or video of the agent with the home talking about the home?
It doesn't
matter.
have to include the agent. I think
Okay.
it's just the
It's
idea of
video,
using
the
a
idea
video.
of using video.
Exactly. Yep.
I do it to do the real. I always get videos for him, because then it's so easy to just post it.
Yeah.
Right. And it doesn't even specify whether it's like going on the MLS versus social media or both. Like sellers just want to know that you're doing your best to market their listing and using video in their mind, whether it actually upsell the house or not, in their mind, that is adding value and they want to list, they're more likely to list with agents who are going to do it.
Branded as well, right?
Mhm.
You do two brand. you
Yeah, we always do a
video-
branded and an unbranded version. So you can use it on the MLS or you can use it on social media.
And
Exactly.
then you can post the brand one on your.
Yep. So that brings us to our bundle deal. This is what it is. It's brand new. So Peter referenced the discount. We've got this partnership that we're launching. So this is where we're going to take everything that we just learned and put it into a nice bundle deal for you. So obviously you're going to get the professional photos like they always do, and the floor plan. That does include room dimensions as well, by the way. So that saves you a step of having to measure all the rooms if you are currently doing that. That twilight image. So again, we're appealing to 55% more buyers because of having the floor plan. We're getting 19% more views with the twilight image. We're gonna 73% of sellers are going to be more likely to list with us because we're including a video. And we're going to sell 60% faster because we're including drone photos. And then the listing website that we include has some great tools on it as well. So it has a link that you can share on social media, which much better to share this link. If you're not using like a command, related website through your CRM, don't share the MLS link. Don't share Zillow link because that is not pointing anybody back to you. You want to share something that has your information on it. And so the listing websites that we include do have them. So if you're not currently bothering with command and setting that stuff up on your end, we've got one ready to go for you. And so that's included, does have templates in it to create graphics, social media things, flyers, brochures, all that good stuff
I think
as
you
well.
can use your landing page through command and then it goes into command.
Perfect.
I think.
And it does have lead capture as well.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like you want people, if they're going to go and look at your listing, yeah, you want them to be going back to your information.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I think the URL goes in, because I think I've done it. Let me try.
All of that for $265. So that's where, Peter's referencing that discount. That's what we're talking about. We've got all of this bundled together for you, made it really easy and really cost effective to help you win more listings, attract more buyers, and sell faster. But that's actually not all. There's one more piece to this one. I always do that. Oh, wait, there's more. You can, so it includes 25 photos, and that's going to be good for a lot of listings up to 2,000, 2,200 square feet, something like that. We do have the option to add more photos if it's a larger home. But if you have a listing where it's locked in, you don't really need to impress the seller. We have other options that are going to be lower price point here. So our 25 photo essential bundle includes the photos, the twilight, the floor plan, and the listing website. So you're just not getting the aerials in the video. So you can get that for $160. Of course, the bundle deal that we just talked about for $265. And then if you have distressed properties or something that really just needs the bare minimum basics, you can get photos only starting at $115. But the best part is you can book now and pay later. So part of this bundle deal is that you're able to go on our website, schedule your photos, and it's going to get on an invoice that will be added to your office bill. So it gets paid through your KW office bill. And so you basically delay that payment.
$1,000 fee going up.
That's great. Very nice.
Yep, so it helps with cash flow, especially if you're in your region. Yep. Yeah, and actually we have flyers.
Yeah.
So we've got the solid print version for you as well, and I'm gonna send an email so you'll get all of this too. Yep, absolutely. Yes. Yeah, you can build your own bundle if you want. And so you could start with those photos only, or you could start with the essentials. And even with our KW bundle deal, if there are other things, if you wanted to add a 3D tour, you can always add other things as well. So, but the important part is in order to, I forgot to update that too. So it says it right on your paper there. I forgot to update this. It should be KW 7 Hills. So, yeah, I don't think I can fix it right now, but it's right on your paper and it'll be right in the email I send you. So instead of KWC for Commonwealth, it's KW 7H for 7 Hills. Right. So, but that goes on our website. When you go to book, it's important for you to use that code because that code is what gives you access to the deal and what is going to enable it to go on your office bill. You
So
don't
our
lose
profile doesn't automatically do that. We have to put it in.
You have to put in, yeah, it's a customer code. So you do need to add that in there. Chad, I think after you do it the first time, it usually sort of remembers you or your cookies or caching or whatever it is. Yeah, so that part is important. Ignore what it says here. What's on your paper is correct. And then we do have all of our other services, like if you wanted to build your own bundle like we were talking about, you can kind of do that as well. So kind of probably over time here, but that's all I got. Any questions? Right, the one that we include does not include the agent on camera. You can always add that if you wanted to. So it's an extra 50. Yep. So, and your videos, we will be, currently they are what they are, but we're changing them here in a couple weeks, and you're going to be able to choose whether you want it to be vertical or horizontal with any video. So that'll be coming here soon.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you all. Absolutely.
I appreciate it. Is that the end of our meeting? No, that's something else. Yeah, we need to go. But hold on, I'm trying to see if we've got this stuff. Yeah, I'm not gonna make you guys sit through here while I keep clicking. I have no idea what anything is or where it is. Are we? Yeah. Fantastic. Are you speaking? Do we have another guest in the house? We got another guest. We have two more guests. Who are our guests?
Well, my name is Larry Evans from Craftsman Contractors. So I'm going to be a partner with you guys. We're an exterior construction company. Been in business 18 years with roofing, siding, windows, and gutters. Also smaller stuff with the soft fascia. But I'll put together more in-depth presentations, some ways we can help you guys get to the closing table and help your homeowners either get excited about buying a house or get them to sell a house.
Are you looking for me?
No.
What's your company name?
Craftsman Contractors.
Okay, you're Larry?
Yes, ma'am. I got cars with me.
Nice.
And then so we had an office in Lexington for 18 years. We opened our Cincinnati office last year. So really excited to get to know market, get to meet some more new faces.
Cool.
Thank you for being here.
Closing. Okay.
Love it.
So Craftsman is the old, for those of us who are old, is the old Sears.
Sears.
Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah.
You're not
I know.
I mean,
It's a great name. High quality.
Related to that, right? Yeah.
Awesome. Who else? Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Actually, I wasn't gonna like do anything here today. I was actually gonna set up the seat later on, hopefully, but I'm here to sorry, home inspection. Right on everything. We have lots of ways to help out our real estate. So anyways, I've never been here before.
What?
First time in town.
That's crazy. Welcome. It's been almost a year.
I am.
Yeah. You can always come back. Yes. Sure.
I was negotiating this, actually, a buyer wanted something that was kind of, we thought was excessive. I reached out to one of his companies, they're able to help us figure it out. Actually, we ended up paying the $3,000 if they wanted, we were able to mitigate that.
Well done. That's awesome. We got our first one of the same deals.
I've used Jared for several years, and it doesn't kill it, it doesn't break jobs behind.
That's huge. And you know what's crazy? I just realized, Garrett, that we met like 6 years ago in Kentucky, and I used you on a couple of commercial deals. And you taught me things. I'm reading my notes, like you have a combustion analyzer no one else has, and you were doing sewer scoping back when people weren't. And I totally forgot about you. I mean, I'm gonna tell, that's why you gotta show up. And I'm just looking at this like, oh my God. Like,
Me too. Teresa takes more notes than anyone else I know.
so much. I'm trying to together.
Are you so glad you came?
I know exactly what.
Even if something you don't want to hear.
Fair enough. Well, thank you. Thank you to everyone. Thank
So
you
he
for
is in
doing
Kentucky and Ohio.
There you go.
Just yeah, that's right.
Right.
I have to make shameful plug. Hey, everybody, listen up. This is really important. Today I'm going to be talking right after this class about contingent contracts. If you have not written one ever, be here. If you haven't written one in a while, be here.
I spent about 30 hours online with 3 different attorneys because somebody screwed up a contract coming into us last week. We're gonna see more and more and more. If you've never done it, please come, please. It's gonna save us, me.
You're
all of us a lot of problems.
We're gonna see contingent contracts, contingencies, we're gonna see contingent contracts, we're going to see gaps, appraisal gaps, and we're gonna see escalation clauses. This stuff is back.
I'm gonna be in the meeting.
And foreclosures are.
Know what you're
back as
doing.
well.
All right.
I have my own personal nightmare story on that.
Yeah.
I'll bring your tissues, it's sad.
It's sad.
But lots going on out there that we have not seen probably in 10 years.
Right. Fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you everybody for being here. There's food out there. Daniel, thank you so much.
Thanks, Daniel.
Have a fantastic day.
Hi, you.
Glad you're here.
They're in one of the rooms over there. Yeah, so I can, we're ready. It won't be 60 today.
Thanks for being here. Kristen, that is, she's at the front desk. She was right up there.
Oh, yeah, then it was chilling, yeah. You have a special.
Yeah, definitely. I would like to say.
Oh, see. No, it wasn't that type of weather. It was not that type of weather. Listen. No.
Thanks. It does matter. It does matter.
That's funny.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Self contractors, some of their energy efficiency, longevity, and all of that, we don't have big budget. They're
Very nice to meet you.
So one of we sold last year, I think 80% lows.
Really?
So it's been a good, used to be Probian before that. And just now, apples to apples, quality was same a little better, but just because they and the only less some. See, we can. So I think. We should do itch restriction.
We send pictures, is that enough?
Pictures of the address.
Yeah.
There needs to be a. Yeah. So the only thing that change on the ground is if the decking's really bad.
Yeah.
So for example, property workshop. So what I can do though, an address is give you a requirement and a deck price. And most of the time price.
So you do that.
Not that, so the deck is that and trusses.
So you're mostly like other society groups.
We do a lot of signing. So
What about check?
we just, the only thing we do is we do flash. So if sometimes what we can't do is we can get rid of chimneys. So for example, say a chimney's not functional.
Yeah,
But
that's-
it's
I-
yeah, so we,
Yeah,
we don't maintain. functional. We
I
take
have
them.
I am gonna say that.
What's
This
it?
is one that I'll be there.
Oh, is it the little?
Because
Yeah, I know, I use them. Yeah, I don't know how much longer they're gonna last, but I don't know if anybody else is gonna come back. Yeah.
So yeah, the chimneys, that's all we can do. We can remove them down to the roof line.
Right.
But sometimes, the chimneys we pump for years. That's the best thing.
Right.
And then usually we do is protect that.
Got it.
And then we also flat roof, so we can-
And I feel like it's back. Yeah, I feel like it is.
Me, I'm saying.
Me too, I'm gonna grab something else.
Okay, not that I'm really excited about it.
I wasn't really- That's what my brother said. And then my dad.
No one. Don't worry about that, don't bother with that. You like your household. Whatever, so now. Really?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. might as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
Real quick.
Scott.
I'm gonna be in the other room. I have to figure out my ad.
I was gonna ask you, you know what, I just started running an ad. Thank you.
Well, this one's my favorite. I shot my video Friday.
Right.
I didn't even
But I
know
will-
about Lovely too.
Keeps like saying it's uploaded, and I'm like, oh.
Lovely, no, not. So.
I have one target.
Lovely.
This one's just a video to like promote.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause I even downloaded
But I
it.
can't wait to see. What happened.
Yeah, I'm gonna have two. I'm gonna have two. This is
Oh,
like,
yeah.
voting, they want a lot.
So I see how.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. How much it is.
Yeah. Well, that's what I like about you, but it's just gonna have.
Hey guys, we're gonna get started. We're gonna get started. What? I did. Are you coming back? No. Emily, this is really important for you. Yes. You don't have to, but it's not. Yeah.
the one, I know this one.
If you have a house to sell,
I have a house to like a listing.
if you're writing it up to the home sale and
Yeah, I know about that. I have to do that. Is that what this is about?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I just try to avoid that at all costs.
But you're not going to do that.
And this buyer, she's super qualified. There's a certain price point associated with her. She's a little, not older, but a little
Let me go down my microphone. All right.
she's just kind
No,
of.
but get started.
Okay, guys, from Kaya, I think Kaya and Celeste. Where are you staying? You're always, I can count on you to always.
What's the address?
Yeah. I love you for that. Thank you. Yeah, maybe.
Stop by.
I still need to read up.
The one that,
Okay, I'm having this class, you guys, because right now we are starting to see contingent offers again. So has anybody in here ever written a contingent offer? Okay. Being contingent on the sale of the property closing, another property closing, you've done that? I know you. You will very soon, sure. The thing that we're running into is that, we're starting to see more and more of them, because as this market shifts, we are going to be writing offers contingent on the sale and close, sale and write the sale and close another property. Selling doesn't mean it's closed. So whenever you're writing your contingencies, it should be on the sale and close of a property. We had a nightmare last week, and it was because there was a property that an offer was written on it, and for one of our excellent agents, it wasn't her, and they didn't do anything. They got an offer, and the only thing that mentioned a contingent sale was on page 2 of the offer, and it was a date of contract. So whenever you're getting a date of contract, don't assume you know what it says, because you don't. They are not the same as Cincinnati. There's a couple of variables in there that you need to be aware of. So whenever you get a contract you've never seen before, and you will, make sure you read that from top to bottom. That's our responsibility. Okay.
I have a blank, that's.
Here to, go to your first page, it's like on that.
1 or 2.
Then the other. So we're only gonna concentrate here, only thing we're gonna come to you from 6, 7, 78.
No, I have a question real quick.
Yes.
So this is what you said, see, I haven't seen this before, this is
This is
Ohio.
Ohio, just like it's gonna have some.
They are, okay, okay.
Maybe you're gonna look differently, it's gonna be, whether it's contingent upon property closing or not. And this is where it's guaranteed here.
So we're adding this to our contract. with the
No, this is already in the contract.
Okay.
To purchase, but if you are getting an offer and you have a listing, do not, whatever you do, pay attention to this. We got an offer, this was check mark, that was the only reference to a contingent sale, period, one check mark. The agent has to.
Oh.
So this should not be all you get. There is all this other stuff that comes with it. And if you don't get this with an offer that you are accepting or writing, you have not done a job, okay? Because this came in.
Yeah, but I've never even seen that. Never.
Yeah, I've never seen that either.
Well, how do you write a contingent offer?
I used to always say it's contingent on the sale of is, and then I would put in the other of the notes, I would say the XYZ property is scheduled to go on the market.
I would just
So-
mark
so
the box.
they-
And mark box.
Yeah. And
I wouldn't even write it in.
I've never seen this.
So are you glad you're here?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's gonna save you so many headaches.
Is this new?
Oh, God. I used this 25 years ago.
Darren, do you want to talk a little bit about the other contingency that we were talking about earlier, so you can get out of here, because you were kind enough to offer?
So when you're working with your lender, if they're pre-approved from another bank and they're being contingent, we would know that. We're gonna tell you that. So on a pre-approval letter, it should say contingent on the sale of the house. You guys also gotta remember, there are certain DPA programs that are just like regular financing. So if your financing falls through, it's fine, it's part of the financing. But then there's others that aren't part of the financing, right? Like the ADDI program, some of the other programs that maybe require like a home inspection to review the house before they release the funds. You gotta double check with that bank, whatever program they are, is it contingent on that? Right, because if it's contingent on that, the financing didn't fall through. It was contingent on the down payment assistance part of it, right? You know, like if they can get gift money or whatever, then they need to buy. But you know, sometimes you have to. You know, it's up to you. But it seems like everybody's getting boring up on everything. You might want to consider if there are certain DPAs that they're using. You know, which ones are contingent of X, Y, and Z. It's another agency that is giving the down payment assistance instead of like the bank or the lender that you're using with, because a lot of lender will have their own internal down payment assistance programs, and then some are like government agencies. So on the
What you're saying is contingencies can cross a broad spectrum of things. It doesn't just have to be your house.
Yeah.
The sale of your house. It's 100 other things.
right, it really just depends on how you want to structure, how much you want to cover your butt, right? In this nowadays where everybody's kind of suing everybody.
Thank you, Darren, I appreciate that. I wanted him to mention that, and that's not really why we're here today, but I've run into it. If you have a HELOC, that is not cash necessarily, okay? So, if you have 401k monies that you have to get out and you have to wait, or if you cannot write a check, am I right, Darren?
What's that?
If you can't access that money like right now, it's not cash.
No.
So whenever you're talking to a buyer and they say, oh yeah, well, I have hard money, 401k, it's not cash, so it's in their bank, and that's when it's cash. Sharon, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
Have a good
Darren. We
one.
appreciate it.
Here's my other question. If there's a contingency that's not related to the sale of the buyer's real estate, is there a different form?
Yeah.
We don't need it at all.
Okay.
We don't need it at all. But if it is related to the sale of their real estate, there are certain stipulations that go along with that, and certain MLS rules we don't even know. So last week we get this offer and the box is checked. That's it. The pre-approval comes in, no conditions. Nice, right?
So it doesn't say it on the pre-approval.
It doesn't say it anywhere. So the only place it's marked is on this box.
And the agent missed it.
Well, it's pretty easy to miss. I missed it. I mean, it's easy to miss, but a box. So if you're not specifically thinking off the telephone with that other agent is a contingent upon the sale of another property, something you should always ask.
Yeah.
Should be in our listed asks whenever we're accepting an offer on one of our properties. And we don't, and we miss the box, where are we? We're screwed. It's about 30 hours, 4 attorneys, me throwing up for 2 days, not even to get through this mess last week. Okay, so that's the reason we're talking about it today. So whenever you write an offer contingent upon the sale of the property, there are stipulations that go around. First of all, it starts on page 2, your financing section of the offer. And buyer financing qualification letter based upon initial credit check and preliminary information provided by buyer stating that such qualification is or is not contingent upon the closing of buyer's other real estate and is attached. So whenever that is marked and you have it as attached, you better be reading that it's attached to what it says. They sent us that.
Yes.
So, there are just so many things that come into play here that you have to be so careful, because whenever.
So did they have that box marked, and did they say that it is attached, but it wasn't on the pre-approval? Oh, so that really is their fault, then, right? Or the lender's fault?
Well, yeah, when I talked to the lender about it, it's like, well, we did our job. You know, we got that like on, let's say September, I'm just making up dates. Let's
Yeah.
say December the 9th. Then on September the 23rd, they sent us a no contingent approval. An approval, no contingencies.
Yeah.
House still had to sell. Period. So we got the box, we got the letter, which had nothing in it. We got the pre-approval, not pre-approval, but the last pre-qualification for your code request. Nothing about having to close the house. All the way down the pipe, nothing. So we get to the end and they call and they say, we need an extension because we can't sell the house. And we said, why do you need an extension? Because you can't sell the house. Well, we have to. And December, it's not closing till next week, so that's quite a while for a house to be out there and not being marketed, right?
Yeah.
So what do you do? Well, they call us up and they say, we cannot buy this house unless we sell our house. It has to close. Our house has to close. Our house has to close. We cannot close this house unless we get the money from the house that we have currently on the market to close the next house. So.
Anybody hungry? Going once, one twice, granola bar?
I'll take it.
Oh, I got two. Oh, I got you.
So at that point, they have made it very clear in writing via text, email, et cetera, that not an kind of release.
I don't know, that I would, you know, that would, I would, yeah.
I mean, I would say determination because you don't know what that period is.
Because it's the seller
That
wanting to
waiting period
terminate?
Could be another 3 months before you can.
Well, they asked for a 2-week extension.
Okay, but is the seller saying, no, forget it,
I would
we gotta
say
terminate
no.
and relist?
No.
They did not, yes, seller is saying
They're selling
terminate the
the same
contract.
contract, I want to
out of
relist.
contract.
Is there a way that you can make a contingency with them under contract and if they don't go through it a certain time?
That's what we're gonna talk about next. I'm just telling you what led up to this today.
So what happened? The seller said,
So termination, you send a termination or not?
oh.
Well, if the sellers want to terminate it, yes,
Yeah, if I'm a
but I
seller.
would probably call you first to say, are they allowed to terminate or are they still under contract? You can check the box.
What would you do, Tracy?
And I missed it as an agent and I feel horrible. I just said,
And
I
then
just
just hold them there.
Well, it would be the agent's fault, really. You had to fall back on the agent that must have the check mark.
yeah, because attorneys are legally obligated by the contract with the box.
But they're still on hold until we.
I would stick with it and try to see it through. I would do that.
Yeah.
All right, so, the option at that point, the seller was really pushy, and the seller said, we want to terminate. And they said, well, we want to go through with this because it's like, you know, but they were closing new construction, it was costing them per diem if they didn't close by the date that it was supposed to close. So it's just on and on.
Can you get one of those, quickly get one of those programs where you can buy do the house for cash or whatever? Can you flip it that way or?
So did we have
Well,
the buyer or the seller? We have the seller.
We have the seller. So by now we're ramping up, right?
Yeah.
So the person may just come in, second thing I do is call E&O. E&O connects us with another attorney, and that attorney is nobody new, and there was a termination stand. Does the termination stand? Don't use it. Don't use a termination unless you come to me and we shake it upside down, right side up, stomp on it, because they're worth not much, not worth the paper they're written on. A lot of it. So be very, very, very careful in doing it. Sabi and I attended one a couple weeks ago with Tony, because they were trying to take our view. But, be very, very careful with those. So if you're gonna use a termination, make sure that it will stand up for it, and I agree with you. The attorneys at ENO says this is not worth it. So, we talked to ENO, they sent us to an attorney in Cleveland, the guy in Cleveland goes over everything, spends, and they gave us 2 free hours, which was great.
Nice.
To be able to talk to them, and within that 2 hours, we worked out a game plan. Kind of. As much as you can. So by then, another offer was accepted because the termination was sent.
Oh my God.
Termination was sent, supposed to stand, right?
Wow. They listed the house like right away.
It was back up.
Okay. Oh, okay.
But the good news was it was less money, so I figured if we go to court, we're not gonna get it a lot because it was less money, you know. But it turned into a nightmare, so the consensus about all of the attorneys involved was get rid of the over and go away fast. And that's basically what we did. So we made some people very angry. The first buyers got the house, they're gonna be closing in a couple of days, the second buyer's upset. And so be it, it's what happens. So do you see what can happen whenever one thing can go awry in a contract? It's a
I think this happened in the very beginning when I was a brand new agent. And if I could have like give any advice, like I lost an offer because I didn't go back and check the expiry date of the offer. I had the seller and I lost the deal. And ever since that's happened, I am like A-type with every single lie.
But we have to be, you guys, because, you know, trust me, I've been doing this, I'm older than yours, I've been doing this a whole lot. And it kind of feels like it this week, I can tell you that. But the thing is, I still miss stuff, you guys. You know, sometimes.
Well, it's because of the pressure and the timelines that we're under. I mean, it's.
A lot of it is.
There's just a
And
lot.
it's okay to ask for help, you know. Asking for help is a sign of strength. So when it's late at night or you're just, you ever have this, you just can't think? Get somebody to go over it with you. Sit down with them and say, come on, just give me 15 minutes and let's do this together to make sure I didn't miss anything. Do that. But the way a real contingent offer is supposed to go, and you talk about the fun part of it, how it's really supposed to go.
Yes.
All right, so this is your sale of buyer's real estate contingency. This is in Dotwood. Do not ever,
I did not even know that.
get involved. It's in Kentucky too, you guys.
And that was my next question.
Ohio and Kentucky. Kentucky is better.
It's always better.
I'm just kidding. But they both basically say the same thing. Are you aware of this, Andrea? Just not picking out on you. I'm just curious because
No, I've never
you know
seen anything
why?
like it.
Because we haven't seen them in 15
Well, I was
years.
gonna say, yeah, and Tracy's never seen it either, that's why I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, so.
Because we didn't use them that often, but I've seen probably 4 or 5 in the last month.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, the fact that they are coming in and they're working again.
Well, that's what I'm saying, like, someone that has a contingency is actually getting their offer accepted, that's like unbelievable.
And Logan is great at it.
Yeah?
She does, no, but when she's on our team, but she
Yeah.
just pushes them out, she gets them accepted, like, how'd you do that?
Well,
I
she should
wouldn't
be
even
teaching,
take the
well,
ride
she
in.
should be teaching a class.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that when I read this, I have thought, what is the thing that's attached? What am I marking this box for? What is that? And I
Right.
never thought to ask.
Like, yeah, let's
right.
do that again.
It's very, that's legitimate, right?
Like, okay,
Right.
And it's
so
not,
I guess
what
I
is
see
it?
that you check that box. Or in the.
Well, I thought that was a pre-approval.
Well, here's my
Yeah.
question, line 76, it says financing qualification letter, all right, is that specific to the actual,
Contingency.
No, that's related, that's just your qualification letter, and it is or is not related to a contingency.
okay, but it doesn't matter if it's a pre-approval or a pre-qualified?
No.
It doesn't matter,
No.
okay.
And the other thing I would say, you guys, pretenders hate me, they hate me, and I don't care. I like them either, most of them. I like Darren. I like our guys here. But the one thing that I will bug them about is whenever we get that conditional approval, I say, I wanna see it. And they say, can't. Well, I think I can. I wanna see it. Why would they say you can't? Because a lot of it has some personal,
Yeah.
could have personal stuff in it.
Confidential financial information.
But I always ask, huh?
Isn't that what we do? It's like we're kind of like their liaison that we're expected to remain confidential anyway? Like, why would, anyway.
Anyway, it's a limited thing, that if you get your hands on that, it tells you where you really are in the deal. So whenever you have a deal that gets strung out, it's gonna close in a week and it's gonna close. So send me that conditional approval.
So
I
you're
wanna
saying
see it.
if we have the sellers, or no, if we have the buyer, can we ask for it on either side?
I asked for it,
Either side.
either side.
Okay.
They don't have to give it to you and they usually won't, but I bug the crap.
And what does that look like? What is the condition?
It can be all kinds of conditions. There's always a verification report at the very end. We all know that, right? It could be a final appraisal. It could be, clear your bankruptcy by closing so that it has been discharged by that date. There's a jillion things that show up there that they never tell you.
Oh, my God.
So whenever you see that conditional approval, you really do know what you're doing. Okay, that's just a side note. Not only that, but that's another thing. So who would like to start by reading, did I lose all my? Getting them all away. We need a copy.
I don't have an RATC one yet. I don't have the one with the logo. RATC.
You don't have this? That's just, you don't.
We don't need that. Okay.
Okay, so whenever we get over to the sale of the buyer's, real estate contingency, you guys, I'm telling you, I'm gonna put this into, our compliance group, so that if they see that checkbox, they're gonna come back and ask me for this.
Yeah.
Now, you guys are gonna be all set.
Well, can you have it added to the, you know how when we go
Yeah.
through command and stuff, it just automatically drops in our loop?
Yep, we're gonna do that. It needs to be done because.
Yeah,
as
I
the
agree.
contingencies come up, we're gonna need more and more of this. So who wants to read, like the first section? Anybody volunteer? Just because I don't have. Okay.
The addendum is hereby made part of the contract of purchase dated on or about, I guess that's the date of the
That's the
contract,
actual date that you write the contract.
concerning the purchase and sale of the real property located at 1 contingency period. The buyer's obligation to close this transaction shall also be contingent on buyer's written acceptance of an offer to purchase buyer's real estate located at.
So that's where the house they're selling to be able to buy the next house is going to go. That's where the address is gonna go.
So this is the buyer's address.
That's the buyer's address, and this is so important in so many ways, okay, you guys? It tells us where the house is, it tells us what average number of days on market are, if we take a minute to take a look at it.
We can do research on
We,
it.
as a listing agent,
As
can research that.
Yeah, so you can figure out, thank you, so you can figure out exactly, what they are trying to sell,
Yeah,
see
and
if
how
that's
long
gonna
it's
work.
supposed to
Yeah,
be.
if it's gonna sell in the time
And if it
period.
even
that
makes
you're
any
gonna-
sense to do it,
Yeah.
right, so it's really important to do that, go ahead.
Buyer's real estate within, I guess that's the time frame. The buyer's agent is saying how quick the house is gonna sell, right?
Yeah, and that's gonna change the shifting markets. So here it says, it shall be 7 calendar days, if not specified, after the contract acceptance date, which is the contingency period. So the day that you go into this contract, then that period that they have to sell their house starts the day after, just like every other
Same as
contract.
everything else.
So, again.
How many days would you even be?
I was gonna say
putting in?
7
Yeah,
days
what-
is a lot.
7 days doesn't
7
seem-
days isn't enough.
Yeah,
What do you put there?
I usually do like
I do 30.
minimum 15 and probably 30.
Yeah.
Okay.
Minimum 15 and probably.
But that's
This
to get it,
shall be 7
Is that-
calendar days.
is that under contract days or is that,
By the time it's gonna
Sold
sold.
days. No, those are your under contract.
that's just only
That's
under
just
contract?
Oh,
days.
you
That's
got 30
when they're
days in
like-
order to have the other house. in
Yeah, so you
contract.
kind of have to
Okay.
work backwards.
Yeah.
Maybe
Okay.
all
See
in.
what I'm
I mean,
saying?
My head hurts too when I do it.
Yeah, because I might be getting ahead of myself here, but like, is what's also in here is that they have 15-30 days to get their house under contract before we even start inspections on our house? Okay.
Or you can change that. It
Right.
doesn't have to be the way it's written. If you want them to go ahead and invest and do inspections immediately to make sure everything's gonna be okay, you can ask them. to do that.
Okay.
You just need to do it on an addendum or whatever.
Okay.
Can you continue?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
This contingency is solely for the benefit of buyer and may be waived by buyer at any time prior to the end of the contingency period. Oh my God. During the contingency period, seller shall have the right to continue to market the real estate for sale through a broker.
So the beauty of this, as a selling agent, is that you do have the right to continue to market that property for sale and not market pending. And not market pending.
Okay. If you accept the offer?
If you accept the contingent offer that we're talking about in paragraph.
But that's where you use the contingent, like it's not pending, it's contingent.
You don't even have to do that.
Okay.
So you're saying you can have an active accepted offer on this house and still
Be
market
marketing
and
it?
then have another one and choose the other one over this one?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my God. Okay, that's awesome.
That's
So that's the
amazing.
upside, right?
Yes.
But you can only do all that, if you use this form.
You have to use.
And we've never known about this form.
Yes, I'm saying, that's why we have Susan here. I want to tell you something. You get into a pickle on this and you go to Fort Dux, squander dead.
Yeah.
You
Sure you
will
are.
lose big time. Because
So-
what you have, you've got a checkbox,
Right.
closed by when, closed by that date.
I
You're
know, I
not
can
gonna sell your house. I don't know.
Right,
when
there's
you're
too many
selling your
up
house.
in the air, right?
Well, and the fact that you can continue to market and take the better offer that comes in, I mean,
But
that's.
that's really, yeah, this is really, I mean, this is kind of sad from the buyer side, because even though they have a contingency on their house and they're under contract with this offer, they could still lose it because of
Yes,
their.
they
because of
could.
their
That's the market
contingency.
we're
Yeah,
in. That's the
take
market
a
we're
chance,
in.
I guess.
More competitive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and this other couple waited 3 weeks for their house.
And that's where that guy in West comes in too. This product allows them to have their house for 6 months while they go through the cash offer and somewhere else.
Yeah.
Buy the house cash, and then they can
They
take.
got 6 months to sell their house.
That's what I was
That's a
thinking.
brilliant.
That's what I was trying to say with that story you were saying.
Uh-huh.
If that buyer would have had time to do it with another lender and just get cash.
Do you mind continuing to read, Celeste?
Number 4.
Okay, this is important, guys, listen.
Number 2, buyer's real estate. On or before the last day of the contingency period, buyer shall notify seller in writing, buyer's notice in parentheses, whether or not buyer has entered into a written agreement which is not contingent upon the sale of the buyer of real estate.
Buyer's real estate. So now we got 3.
Of such buyer's own real estate. Such agreement shall contain the express requirement that the sale of buyer's real estate must close prior to the closing date specified in the contract.
Now, that's the contract we originally put the deal together with Vermont. So let's say that I wrote on Tracy's 123 Main Street, I'm the first buyer, the only buyer so far that's contingent upon the sale of my house. And my closing date is gonna be, say, March 15th. Okay, that's what they're talking about there. But then they're saying if another buyer comes in, it's contingent upon that. Now, when that buyer sells their house, it has to be non-contingent. That's what they're
Oh,
saying.
so that's the only way they could accept another offer. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
And if you were writing a contingent offer, would you write to be determined as the closing date?
No.
No.
It's not about the contract. it's not actually-
So you would probably just.
You just push that out.
You just have to
Honor.
sit down on your calendar and figure it out. You know, time.
Right, yeah.
Basically, we check our days on market and we know it's a 30-day days on market. It kind of works backwards to.
And we could push it out and say honor before this date.
Yeah, and you can extend it. I mean, this doesn't have to drop dead.
Yeah, okay.
In the event that buyer does not provide buyer's notice as required by the section 2, the contract shall automatically terminate and neither party shall have any further rights and or obligations under the contract.
Yes, so they're saying here that the agreement will stop at that particular time and then it's all dead. Now, you can extend this with an addendum, it's all right to continue it, if, you know, but As markets change and as days on market continue to get longer, which they are actually doing in certain areas right now. Other areas are selling in a day, some areas are staying on for 30 days. You can always accept this. Okay. Now, this is the first part. This is the part where I am going to accept your offer, and I'm not going to give you an opportunity to do anything except I'm going to continue marketing it. Carla brings a buyer in, I'm selling it to her. And I will notify you, but as a courtesy, what I have always done in situations like that is to call the other agent and say, you know what, Celeste, I've got another offer coming in. I just want to let you know that because it's going to be due this afternoon or tomorrow. I don't want your people to accept another offer today, thinking they're going to get this house when we're probably going to sign up all the time.
Yeah, that's true, because then they've got more.
Exactly. So that's just a courtesy.
But there's no, but it is written as a courtesy, because they don't put any days in here, not 2 days, 3 days, nothing. Like, just, you have to do it.
Now,
How do
Kentucky
you
does
prove
have
it?
add days, so.
Is the seller or buyer filling this out?
It's the buyer's
buyer's
agent, the buyer's filling it out and giving it to the seller, and the seller. will
Okay,
accept it.
okay. I just.
Now, I guess,
So,
now,
can I ask?
yes. you
Once
may.
they've got this,
Open
okay,
discussion.
are they on the actual contract, you know, where you have to say accepts the contract? Are they checking that on the actual contract where it says seller accepts this contract?
Yeah, but anywhere that you can put on that contract, there should be a special provisions.
Okay.
Just see, name of this addendum, you guys attach, and it's an integral part of this contract.
Okay, got it. Okay. Seller's right to accept another offer. If
This
prior-
is where it gets fun.
If prior to the seller's receipt of buyer's notice, seller receives an acceptable bona fide written offer from another buyer to purchase the real estate, then the seller shall notify the buyer in writing of the receipt of such acceptable bona fide offer. Select one of the following two options.
Okay, so let's stop right there. So if they bring you an offer, or they send you the release, basically they're releasing this contingency, and they're saying our house sold, we can close by blah, 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 and we're releasing that sales contingency, and we're gonna go forward with the deal, then you are pending, not till then. Okay. I had a house, Charlie, you went on that preview with me. Which one? That little out in the wilds of Kentucky. Okay, so I was this house, and they have a safe door, so we wrote a contingent offer and they accepted it. And first buyers were down, and I had a contingent offer on the house. So what did I do? And they were still marketing, so they were still looking for an active buyer. So I found another buyer that afternoon, and called them back and said, "Hey, Kyle, we got this deal. We had a deal go down, we got another right in place, and we're going ahead with that." And that one went down. So it was like, what in the world? Yeah, $2,000 to $3,000 house. It was like nothing. We finally did get it closed. It's fun, funny days. So up to this point, now you've been marketing the house. Now you've got your other offer coming in. Contingency's been released. All's well with the world. You're gonna go to close it, right?
But you don't release the contingency until you know that that deal isn't gonna fall apart.
Yeah. So whenever they bring you that deal, what do you want to ask for?
That's what, yeah.
What would you ask
You
for?
want to raise the close, like.
When's the inspection period up?
Yeah, you
When's
want
the
to see that
appraisal?
offer, right?
We already have the offer, so they've written you an offer that states, in Kentucky, it's written a little bit better because it tells you when you've done this, how many days you have to actually do the inspection, et cetera.
Right.
This does not take that into consideration. So if I'm writing a contingent offer in Cincinnati, I'm going to say that I will do the inspection within, say, 7 days of the acceptance or the release of their contingency. Does that make sense? Because I don't want them to spend $500 to somebody else and then about the house.
Right.
So then whenever they do release this, then they send the release over, I want to see that pre-approval. Right? Want to see the pre-approval and any other documentation going along with it that makes sure that that house is closed. What do you think, guys, so far?
Complicated.
Fun and games, right?
It's kind of scary. Is it, are you overwhelmed?
Well, call me if you got one. I'm not worried about you guys, because you will. I'm worried about everybody out there who's never done one, because I would say 80% of this office has never. And this is, so you guys. just call me. Okay, so let's continue. So, that is with written notice coming in from the buyer if they are able to close. So, let's see, we left off with written notice to buyers required, formal notice with notice of contingency. So now I get to more of them.
Seller shall not have the right to accept another offer without first providing written notice to buyer of seller's receipt of such offer, such written offer. Buyer shall have something hours, 24 hours, at least you can't go more than that, right?
You can,
Okay.
yeah, you can. Usually,
Okay.
I think it's mostly the 72.
Okay. Buyer shall have 72 hours to waive his contingency. If buyer waives his contingency, buyer shall immediately provide a new financial qualification letter from buyer's lender stating that buyer is capable of purchasing the real estate without regard to the successful sale and closing of buyer's real estate. If buyer does not waive this contingency and immediately provide such new financial qualification letter within the time frame described in this section, then the contract shall automatically terminate and neither party shall have any further rights or obligations under the contract.
What? So what do you guys think of this? Seller shall not have the right to accept another offer. That's okay. They call that really first right of refusal, or in the old days, we called it a kick-out clause. And then let's go further with the number one.
I feel like it's fair.
It is fair. But with this particular one.
So you're saying this is overriding the fact that the seller can put the house back on the market if you're requesting this, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah.
Well, now remember in this section up at the top, you're gonna continue to mark the property as if nothing happened. In these next two sections, you have to mark it pending, so you cannot continue to market it. So anytime a house is tied up, you guys, anytime a house is tied up with a contingency, say for a 72-hour first right of refusal, you have to mark it.
We just decided we're only gonna do 24.
You still have to mark it. You still have to mark it pending. But what that's saying is you're not only giving it pending for 24 hours, you're giving them the time to come back to you and give you a 24-hour notice that they can go ahead.
Right.
So let's say-
without attracting even more buyers to the table, which would not be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't like that. I don't use it. I always, okay, if I'm the buyer's agent, I always write in here, and they always come back with the counter offer here. So, I mean, if somebody's dumb enough to give me 6 weeks to sell a house, I'm gonna do it, right? So I'll put that in there, but I'm always working as a fiduciary for the client, whichever side I'm on. Then, so those do have to mark pending, and unless regulations require listing to be changed to pending status, which means it's not gonna get shown. Then the last one, which is the written notice from the
Written
seller.
notice from the seller to the buyer is not required, formerly known as notice without contingency, without notice contingency. Seller shall have the right to accept another offer without providing prior written notice to the buyer. If the acceptable offer is not contingent upon the closing of other real estate, then the acceptance by seller of the other offer shall operate to automatically terminate the contract in its entirety, and seller shall immediately provide a notice of termination to the buyer. Upon receipt of notice of termination of the contract, all parties shall be released from any rights and or obligations related to the contract. Buyer acknowledges seller may accept multiple contingent offers on the sale of this property.
Well, I wouldn't mark that.
Why? Yeah, why would you mark that? That would be a miss.
The only reason you would mark it is
Is
as
if you're in a multiple.
if you're a buyer's agent,
Yeah.
again, and you're trying to save that house, keep it off the market, and make sure your buyer gets it, That's been the problem. But, you know, the interesting thing is, some people who do these contingent contracts can go ahead and close on the house, they have the money, they just don't want to use it. So, does this help you guys?
I mean, it's a huge eye opener. I didn't know this system.
Yeah. I have a question. Is it legal to say, like, say you wanted them to make it, and then also have the buyers have money in cash, and you say, you know, the buyer will get $5,000 at closing for you to take off the money. You say that $5,000.
You guys, you have to be so careful with that. I have
Sounds like a
agents,
bribe.
If it's outside of the contract, written contract, if your idea is outside of a written contract, just don't do it. Does that make sense?
Oh, I'm saying,
Yeah.
it's legal to put it in the contract, it's $5,000.
No, because an attorney, if it's not written by an attorney, like, we're not attorneys, so you never ever want to go there.
Like, and you know how, when it was a seller's market, people were doing all kinds of stuff.
and they're lucky they do it
And
with their license.
see, that's-
Right, but,
So you're saying it's not legal to put it in the, you know, in the contract where you can put like what's going on, like. Or you can say, I'm giving, they're giving $5,000 for them to accept your.
That's fine, they can do that, but you still have to mark it pending in MLS. Anything that is not available to be shown to the general public has to be marked pending in MLS, and they will find you, and they will find you good. Those are in
That's for them to check that box that says that it'll be pending set.
It has to be, it has to go pending. It has to go, anything that you take pending has to be pending in 3 days. The only thing that I know that states that it cannot be pending in 3 days is if you're still going to check this very first one, it says you have the right to continue to market the property.
So if you send this to a seller that's never seen this before, and they're gonna say, what is all this saying? What's an easy way to sum that up?
Okay, so here's probably how I would say it. And I would say, Celeste, we got an offer on your house. It's not perfect because it is contingent upon the sale of a property from these buyers. Remember the buyers that came in last year?
Yeah.
Well, they love it.
Okay, great.
But they can't afford to buy until they sell it. You understand?
Yes, I do.
So what they've done is they've written us an offer contingent upon the sale of their house. Now, their house isn't on the market yet. So.
That's not a positive, right?
You know how many times I've had this conversation in 25 years? Now, the house isn't on the market. The house isn't on the market yet, but they are.
you just lost them.
But they are ready, they are prepared and ready to put it on. They said they would have it on by the end of the week. Now, the beauty of this is they've written us a full price offer. It's a great offer in those terms. And the only upside to this is the fact that we can accept that offer. And we have somebody ready, willing, and almost ready with it, even buyer. So we can still market the house. Put it out there, and if somebody else comes in and wants to buy it, we can sell it to someone else. So that's easy.
Now, how do we explain it to the buyer?
Yeah, because it's actually acting as a backup offer, and there's never anything wrong with that,
Yeah.
right?
So now, Celeste, we have a full price offer, people don't have their house on the market, depending on the week, but now here's the kicker on this one, is that we have to market pending. So if we accept that offer, the way they are asking us to, we're going to have to market pending in MLS, which means nobody's gonna show up.
Now, I don't want that. I'd like the first option.
That's
the second
checkbox, right? That's the second one.
Yeah. This would be for marketing and pending.
Written
Right.
notice from seller to buyer is not required.
Can you legally say, buyer will be paid for moving it, go ahead and market pending. Or you get it back, they can you legally put that in the original contract? Something like that.
Is it actually gonna be pending?
Yes.
I mean, if it's 100% actually gonna sell to those people, and it is going to be pending, that was come back. I'm still.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying.
contingent, but we really want this house. So we're willing to, if you can be flexible with us and be willing to wait, we'll cover the cost of your moving truck, or we'll give you an additional $5,000 cash.
That's fine, $5,000.
Is that what that means?
Okay, thank you. $5,000 okay. That's all right, we can do that, but it still has to be marked, and then it would be marked. And we're gonna choose the right
That's what
one.
your, yeah, that's what your conditions are for it to go that way.
But this second box is saying, we're taking your contingent offer, but if we get a second offer in that's better than yours, I can drop you that one. Yeah, okay.
It is,
That's basically what it's saying.
But to Susan's point, once it's marked pending,
you're
you're
not
dead in the
getting-
water.
You're not allowed to.
No
mark
one's
it.
gonna come.
Like if you get another offer, isn't that gonna be questionable that you've been marketing it if there's another offer that comes
Can't
in?
market if there's another
Well,
offer.
you can't.
If there is an accepted offer, you cannot market it.
But you can still put it.
You can put it for backup.
For backup?
Yeah, you can do that, but I mean, here, it has to not happen. Can you market it? Yeah, you can market it for backup, for a contingent offer, like you said.
No one's gonna pay attention to that.
Yeah, but they don't show them.
No.
I don't show them, I'm not gonna drop shit on my system.
So contingent offers are terrible.
No, they are not terrible, if you do them the right way.
Right.
Look, I sold close to about almost $1 million off that contingent offer.
Okay.
So, but I do apply the book. guys.
Yeah, right.
You use the first box.
Well, it was contested, so yeah, well, no, for my buyers, I use the second box.
Is there-
Because I want time to be able to take it off the market, they didn't approve it, I mean, they countered it.
Is there specific writing, because it says providing written notice to buyers of sell, I mean, you have providing written notice in a couple spots here. Is there
Yeah,
a
whenever you
specific-
provide written notice, just cover anything that would have to be covered in that, I don't know the form for that, I have to down that, I'm making my own forms, you guys, you could scare y'all. But at any rate, just do an addendum stating that this contingency has been released, that they will do inspections in the next number of days, and they will close by, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And that's really all you have to do.
Okay, so what you're saying is for your buyers, you always ask for the first, you always ask for the
Yeah.
second.
The second one, yeah.
No, for the first.
If I'm a buyer rep, I
Oh,
use the second one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
use the second one. Written notice to seller, no, that's not what I want.
I was
want
gonna say,
written
no.
notice to seller is required.
Yes.
I want them to have to be able to write you back and say, we have another offer, you've got
You've
48
got
hours.
24 hours to come back
Whatever
from
we
your
said,
lender
yeah.
and say, I don't need to sell my house to buy it. But if the seller accepts that, then they have to change the status.
It's already pending.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's pending when it's.
it's already pending.
Right.
They've already marked it.
So you're
But
marking that.
you're probably not gonna have anybody who accepts that. If you do, they're probably don't know what they're doing.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because I would always want to be able to mark, yeah, I wouldn't accept that.
Yep.
Okay.
This is
I
how
think
you,
it just depends on what side you're on, right?
Mhm.
I mean, because you said you could send us back for any negotiation, right? Isn't this part like a contract where you could go back and say, if I'm the seller and the buyer is presenting this?
the only thing you're gonna be able to negotiate is probably the terms being, because your
Like
price
the
is the
days.
price. Yeah,
Okay,
like how many
okay.
days till inspection.
So this part, the written notice, we can't negotiate.
So, but as a
Well, you
listing
could, I
agent,
mean, you could, I guess, if you can negotiate it, then it's gonna want to. If they've got another offer, they just want gone.
It probably, depends on how, popular that property is too, because you could say, hey, we're getting a contingency, but look, we're allowing it to remain active, so this is kind of a negotiation, like, we are putting this out there, but, so then we would, in that case, you would want the second box. If it's kind of like, I think it, like, you're up against 5 other offers, and you know that you have a contingent house, but you're like, well, we do want to get this offer in, but you can still market it. Is that how you would do it, frame it? Does that
You
make
cannot
sense?
market it here except market it, it has to be marketed. So I would say anything, here you're marketing pending, number one, you're not marketing pending. Number one, continue to market it just like you don't have it. boxes 2 and 3, you can't market it like you have. Okay, so I would always go for 1 as a seller.
Okay.
And I would always buy another 2 or 3 as well. Does this help you guys, or have I just confused the crap out of you?
I mean, it does, but it's.
No, it does. So even as a listing agent, if that box is checked under contract, you then say, I would really like it. Let's put this in play.
More than I would like, I demand it. I would not accept an offer without this.
Right.
Because it doesn't meet your terms, you have no terms.
Right.
That offer had no terms, it did not have anything, it had enough guts to screw us and not enough guts to get us close.
Right. So what about, again, from the listing side, like a big reason why I wanted to take this class is because I feel like I heard about it the wrong way because they were they were trying to purchase a home and they were selling their home, but they, like there were lots of timelines that the buyer had to be flexible with us because it was like, and I thought to myself, can you do a contingency on the listing side? Or is it more like you're in control? Like, or should I have set that up a different way?
How,
other than
but a
just-
contingency for what?
That's what I'm saying, I don't know. Like, they haven't purchased the house, so we can't promise you when we're gonna be out of here. Or it was, we did all post occupancy.
So the
that's how we
seller
dealt
side,
with it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can write a contingency on anything as
But I
long
was
as
just
all
like,
parties are aware of
I
what
feel
it
like
is
I
and
probably should have
accept it.
done that differently.
Yeah, I think this just covers more, right?
Well,
I mean,
it-
absolutely.
okay, so
Yeah.
with the checkbox, you have no coverage. That would have gone to a lawsuit and we would have lost, period, hands down. We just negotiated really well. Thank God, we are, so we're not in negotiation. I was gonna talk about foreclosures, if anybody's interested.
I want to hear about it.
Jennifer and I have lots of stories to tell. Is anybody interested in the foreclosure piece of it?
Yeah.
Any other questions on this before we move on?
I mean, on the social. Because
Oh, so if we're a listing agent on this one form, if we're a listing agent and we see on the purchase contract that, this box is marked,
yes,
then can we demand that they give up the?
Demand it.
Okay.
Do not, and as a
Okay,
matter
got
of
it.
fact, a lot of people are gonna see these forms popping out of it, because I'm gonna put it into, compliance.
Yeah, okay.
Compliance, so if they see that check box marked, they're gonna be reaching back out. But by then, I don't know how they can.
I know, it could be too late.
Too late.
I know.
So
Right.
it's kind of a mess.
Well,
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I just think people have, this kind of has to be like the NAR, like, they have to know about this.
You know,
The more you
a lot of the agents that were around a long time ago do know about it because
They did it
they're
back then,
around
yeah.
and we did it, because we lived through that whole thing.
Right.
But your agents have to wait. So as far as foreclosure, I'm gonna make this really quick, but I think Jennifer. You wanna come sit next to me? You're involved.
I want information on foreclosure.
There are foreclosures popping up, okay? Be very, very careful. I'm in a mess. I'm just gonna tell you, I'm full exposure. I got a lead through one of my online lead sources, and the guy called me and said, I need to list my house. Sure. Do my stuff to go out, do the CNA. Carla and I kind of working on it together. Cool. Set her. This is awful. It's heartbreaking. Anyway, so it's a foreclosure, so I go out, I meet with him, nice guy. Just a nice guy. And so as we sit there, he says, oh, by the way, here's the paperwork. See, they never give you the paperwork till you walk in. Sometimes it'll show up as a pre-foreclosure, sometimes it won't. There was no indication it was in a foreclosure. I
What
didn't
was
have
the paperwork?
all the letters that he never opened from the bank. That's what they give you. You walk in, they have stacks of bank Did you experience that? Okay, they typically open one letter and they know what's coming and they don't want to read it.
Right.
So they just stash it away. So by the time you get there, it's like, did you read these? Do you know that you're going to foreclosure in 2 weeks?
Right.
I'm not gonna complicate, it's even more complicated, I'm gonna leave that to Sal, so.
I would walk.
So he was honest with you out the gate.
I know what
Saying
foreclosure are all
right?
about, I
Yeah.
don't want anything to do with it,
Okay.
Yeah.
because they have to sell that place then for a certain amount of money, or you're not gonna get paid.
Oh, it's done.
Yeah, that's why, the minute I walked in, he said he wants to list, and I knew he was supposed to
Okay, I
foreclose,
wanna
and I'd be
hear
like,
it. I wanna
good
hear
luck,
about
guys. I'm out, I wouldn't even deal with it.
You can make a lot of money on foreclosure, so don't underestimate them.
Oh, they are
But be
complex, man.
very, very careful.
Yeah.
So I lived 2008, I lived on foreclosures in 2008, I need to say that, and our office did, that's how we survived. So whenever you go into a foreclosure, now I still know exactly what to do, so I went through I had my party authorization, I had it ready, all put together. So he signs off on everything, I come back to the office, I shoot it to the lender, because the first thing you want to do is start communicating with the lender. This foreclosure wasn't 2 weeks, it was a week and a half, it was not 2 weeks. So I come back to all the paperwork, get everything out. Well, in the meantime, the lender, who happens to be owned by BlackRock.
Oh, no.
Is a reverse mortgage company.
And they got a bad review.
They had 3 lots tied up together. He could have sold 1 lot, paid it off, because it wasn't about money. The money was there, he just needed to liquidate it. They said, no, you cannot sell 1 lot, you have to sell all 3 parcels together to be able to get the money to be able to pay this off. So I'm like, okay, so I start calling the lender, right, we're on the phone, doing all the stuff. And what happened next was, oh my God, this is just awful. So we put it on MLS, because I still have time to stop the foreclosure. I know that if I can get to the right people, I can still stop it.
Right.
So in the meantime, an agent from Comey writes an offer on it. And we also, BlackRock, Slender, sent us the appraisal through Hamilton County courts. It came from the court. I have it everywhere. Stamped by the courts, right, Ron? You're a witness to this. Wrong appraisal.
Oh my God.
So we
What do you
get.
mean? They appraised the wrong property?
No, right property, wrong
Wrong
number.
price.
So the appraisal number that we had is 253 or something like that. So we put it out, we get tons of buyers, and it's probably really low.
I mean, in the condition it's in, yes.
Yeah, as a condition it's in, that's probably about what it's. So what happens then is we get an offer from a Comey agent, we write an offer, and I was really nervous about it, those people, because they were first time buyers, and this was an investor, so we go with the investor deal, and he pays basically full price, the appraisal value. Because we had a higher value on the property already, so the plan against to get full price on it. So it goes, that was on Tuesday. I'm still trying to stop the sheriff's sale, and everybody knew it was foreclosure. Everybody knew the sheriff's sale was the next day. Everybody knew. And so the next day comes, and I've never been to a sheriff's sale in Hamilton County, so I log in, open it up.
You would have talked about the judge not stopping it.
Yeah, they wouldn't stop it.
They wouldn't stop the sheriff's
They
sale.
would not stop, they had full price offer, they would not stop
They
the
should
sheriff's
offer everything. If they just stopped it, that would have.
Eliminated everything.
None
Is
of
that a
it's
normal
gonna happen.
thing?
Huh?
Is that a normal thing? They won't stop it or?
Why would they not stop it if you're gonna accept it off?
That's a really good question. Well, it gets more interesting as the days go on. So that's on a Tuesday, the sheriff's sale's on Wednesday, so I log in as a bidder. I pull it up, the appraisal is not 250, it's 380.
Oh, it was a lot.
It was a lot more. But it's what was quoted to us through Hamilton County. So somebody bids, they pay 3 1/4 for it, 330 online. We already have accepted offer of 250. And the other agent, instead of taking that $250,000 as earnest money, he took it, or I'm sorry, as the money, because they wired it, so we thought we were gonna close that morning. We thought everything was and they stopped the sale they stopped the, sale during the sale. So it stopped in the midst of it. Right?
In the middle of you closing.
We never closed. It went to the sheriff's sale, during the sheriff's sale, and the whole time stopped, it was too late. So we have an accepted offer of $250-ish. It sells to a third party at $3 something, and we have a mess. And the other agent, instead of putting that money in as earnest money, put it, or I'm sorry, as money, put it in as earnest money. So he calls me and I said, you realize you just gave me $250,000 worth of earnest money? And I'm keeping it until we get this settled. So it's going to court. The reason being the first buyers are trying to force this poor little old guy who has no money. He's just a little old guy who's a clerk who works over at Kinky. And they want the money. They want the earnest money back. They don't want the earnest money back, they want the property.
They want the property.
And they want him to do a redemption. Now, the redemption in the state of Ohio has really weird laws that go along with it. We're not sure if you can even redeem it.
Who bought the property at the sheriff's sale? Is that in
We don't know.
Is that in fighting for the property?
The first buyer. The first buyer.
The first buyer is the one that didn't get it. The one that offered the lower amount, he didn't get it. The sheriff's sale people got it. And he
the
wants
sheriff's
it.
sale wanted it.
And he wants it.
Well, shouldn't the first buyer be more entitled to it than the sheriff's sale?
Well, there's all kinds of things that come into play. Number one, can someone be forced to redeem? We can't establish that. That has not been established in case law. I read thousands of pages right now in case law, huh?
Yeah, that's the thing.
They make him redeem it. And they said, well, you know what, if he doesn't redeem it, this is their words. We're gonna keep suing you until we bankrupt the estate.
And it's already.
It's already been out.
It was in the near.
It wasn't just.
So he has a fiduciary responsibility to get the most money for the estate. That's his job. That's the attorney's job. So it's a mess. So all I'm saying is, and then you ran into something, you had one pending that went for, the foreclosed during the pending.
And my listing agent, theirs is so bad, I don't know what's going on. Because they're the attorney for the listing side, it was a probate, so it was sent to foreclosure, it was in auction. This one, it was bought in auction. But at the same time, the child of the person who owned it, who died, was working with an attorney and they were trying to get it sold or whatever. Well, here's the thing where they said that they messed up. The listing agent told me this is why my buyer put it off. The attorney said that it will not win, and they're taking it to court, and they will not win because the house was covered by probate, covered by an estate.
As was this one.
But when the foreclosure, they sent the foreclosure documents, they foreclosed the house under the child's name and not under the state's name. So the attorney said, this will not hold up because there's no way to fix it. Long story short, the judge,
It held up.
the judge ruled for.
They ruled for them. So it's been two foreclosure nightmares that Jennifer and I have lived together.
My good point is that the listing agent, that buyer and foreclosure tried to go find the owner, and that's his name and number, so we're negotiating with that buyer.
The new buyer. Yeah. The good news is I worked hand in hand with that attorney, the estate attorney from before we listed it up to today. We still are working with him. So we've done everything exactly per the book according to, and you have as well, because you've been working with that attorney on the other side. So just a little nightmare story to think about.
Makes me not want to do some purchase.
I know, they were just getting fun, right? And I do have a printout somewhere here for steps to take about foreclosure. If you guys would like it, you're welcome to copy of it. Yeah. Any questions before we say, oh, it's 30, good. Yeah. You did pretty good. Any questions, you guys?
I hope you guys win.
Thank you. I hope you do too.
Bring
I
my
have-
notes.
Huh?
How long will it stay?
They said they'll be soon. I don't know. I'm gonna call the attorney every other day and say, where are we today? He's like, no, but you know, here's the thing. It's not even about us getting paid at all. It's about you getting the money. Right? Yes. That's what it should be.
Do we have a short sale specialist or anything here in this office? Like if we come up for short sale, foreclosure, whatever.
That's
We
the
come
same thing,
across
right?
something like that?
Is that the same thing?
Or do we just reach out to? If there's like an on-call number. Cause that sounds like.
I know, it was a property in my neighborhood. And I found you. Nightmare. She said it was a nightmare. I would have had to take the short sale.
Exactly. Boy, that was
huge.
Because for real, I think
Work, what you do?
Yeah, she's not like her now.
I mean, I would still want to do. The biggest thing is knowing that we need to ask for it.
Yeah.
I mean, if nothing else, just.
Or you just show that you're ahead of the curve with your asking for it.
And then she'll walk.
I wanna get to that with the brother too.
That's a long time.
You kind of, as a realtor, you just have to
I can come up
like
with.
dedicate and keep this.
I can come over there probably here.
So, you know.
That's what I said to her after I threw it, I was like, 5 times a year, I say,
No, we all say that.
But we all say
that.
One little thing, one little box can completely screw you.
Here's the thing about it.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I, that's what else I'm like, because I use that in my listing and buyer consultation, that hire me and you're paying for me because my ass is covered by my brokerage who I'm paying. Like if something goes wrong and shit hits the fan, you're insured all the way around, and that's what I say to these people.
But then they're in a week, so I'm sure.
It depends on what they do wrong.
The seller comes after them.
Right.
I'm talking contractual.
Oh, okay.
Contractual,
Yeah,
she's
okay,
talking,
yeah.
I'm talking contractual. But
But,
It's-
right,
that's
the
terrifying.
stress, like every time I think, oh, well.
Right.
Way.
This was when I was new, and they, I am just like a situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, here's the other thing, like, for me, this client.
Oh, okay. I think, yeah, I mean, but that's up to you, so I just threw it up there, I didn't know if you home a little bit, so.
No, he's so confusing, I'm just ready to.
Property in Loveland.
Okay. Well, if you wanna stop by later, call me, and that would be awesome, but don't go out of your way to get these.
So I started talking with him.
Right.
And the next thing you know, he hires me on as his agent to, you know, buy and sell investment properties for him and whatever. And then he has some big ass commercial stuff. And then that'll, you know, I mean, that's why I had to run commercial. So I got a partner.
Oh, nice,
Right.
okay, cool.
I love that.
Super Bowl open house. Taking advantage.
He was just, that's when he was just like, he would.
Yeah, oh, you better, you see this Super Bowl open house is a legit.
Alright, okay, I'll talk to you later. Here.
Super Bowl open house, I'm going to Super Bowl bingo, and I'm gonna get back. Something, do it up. I feel good. I get with, I said that little thing about the, to start investing, with Party Source, which is exciting. I know. And he's gonna, so anyways, we met yesterday, and then, a friend of mine has a, investing class on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So I said, well, why don't you go? He has kids to up. Oh, yeah. So that's really good. Oh, yeah. He's like, so it's kind of like, and he's very, just let me know that I like go to work. It's just so dumb. I said, I just could see because him saying that
listening to you.
makes me know, because I built that relationship over the years. That he feels loyal to me and wants me to know that he's loyal to me, which was so shocking. So, there's a girl with the president. And she gave me a tour of McDonald's the other day. So, like, I'm trying to find her property, this building, the corporate office. So, but the thing is, I didn't know we had a commercial until I found out about Mike in the office. So I gave it to Jim. Does that go on my sales? His sales. Well, so it's $1 million. So that's gonna be his, like his production. And I'll just get.
No, you'll get the,
I'll get the 25%, yeah, but it's on his, like.
no, I think they'll. Hey, Lindsay,
Do you still want to be on Zoom right now?